Tupac thing, bro. That's an actual thing then.
Well, what is it? I don't even know what's going on. I thought Tupac died like in the 90s. Didn't he die in the 90s? When
He
did he
died.
die?
I think he was fucking driving, and then they found the dude, or the good dude confessed
Oh,
or some shit.
yeah. So what was the whole thing about? Like he confessed to the murder, like
I
just
guess
last.
he wanted a clean conscience, bro. Fuck, he was like, I'm gonna be my maker. Fuck it.
But isn't this like all shit that people knew?
But I mean, he's still making music too, though, so that's kind of confusing.
Brian, the dude that shot Tupac that just came out, like, is that like a new news or?
He's a straight up gangster, bro. This is old news, bro. He was on Vlad TV talking about how he fucking shot Tupac, bro.
That was like a long time ago. So why is it all new now?
Because people are fucking stupid. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm part of that. I'm part of that shit, bro.
Stupid, man. That's awesome. And what is up? Welcome back. It's Friday night. You're here with the Average Boys podcast. It's your boy Crispy. And as you see, I'm joined with my two co-hosts. Well, actually, we got a surprise co-host today. But first, we got Brian D from New Jersey. Brian, what is up, my dude?
Yo. What's up?
What is up? And we are guested by our homie and our friend and our cool colleague and our nerd in the revival of nerdadity, David from The Collector. Dave, what is up, my dude?
What's going on, guys? Thanks for the invite. Appreciate it.
What's up? It's good to have you, man. How's been the podcasting going for you guys, dude, on your side of the world?
You know, it's fun, man. I mean, it's a different challenge. I think we're like 39 episodes in, getting to that 50. The big 50.
Dude. Nice. I like to hear that. Good consistency, good work. John, what is up in the comment section? Everybody else that's watching, we appreciate all of you guys. Thank you guys for jumping in.
Wait, Chris, before you continue, I want to ask David a question about podcasting. So now that you are in the podcasting world, what has been the best thing about podcasting and your least favorite thing about podcasting?
Oh, bro, it's gonna sound so shitty, bro. I can't believe you did that.
That's a
I gotta do it.
So the best part is, bro, is the profit margin.
I like that.
So when it came to the advertising stuff, like obviously, like when we sell some ads to it, it's like $600, but I'm able to open up that profit for $500 to invest in more equipment and stuff. Mm-hmm. The least favorite part, bro, is just when people cancel on you, bro. It sucks.
That definitely sucks.
And I'm that guy, bro, that likes to go through their Facebook, their Instagram. Like, I go through all their shit. I build up all that shit. And they're like, oh, by the way, it canceled. I said, motherfucker.
Yo, you got to work on that. Like, it definitely has to do with something about your Riz and your juice, bro. Because, like, me, no one's ever canceling on me. Like, look at me, bro. Like, there's no chance anyone's canceling on me, bro. Yeah. Nah, I'm fucking with you, bro. But
yeah, I got canceled on them. I'll cancel on them first.
That definitely sucks.
Yeah, that's got to be like the rough part. Hey, I got to ask you, okay, so like, do you get inspiration for your back checking and stuff like that from like Hot Ones, or like where do you get like what inspires you to do that? Because like when I bring a guest on, I don't deep dive too much. I just kind of get like the skim of the surface, and then I just kind of treat it like a barbecue. I just ask them questions on the flow. Like I end up fucking up sometimes, but it's because it's just so organic. But what is it like? Where do you get your inspiration?
So a lot of times, I mean, obviously I watch you guys right before starting.
Thank you.
So I follow the banter, and then a lot of inspirations like from Hot Ones, a lot of different small podcasts and stuff. I watch a lot of the Mr. Beast podcast and how they break it down. They go through his history and stuff. But I just think it's like fun to kind of throw a curveball in there because, I've had it like with the Terra Sands where I'm like, okay, so we're going to pull out this picture when you were interviewing fucking George Lucas. And she's like, what the fuck? Like, I haven't seen that episode since XYZ,
Oh, I get you.
Kind of, depending on the flow of the conversation, it's either going to elevate it or it's going to bring it down completely.
True. Who I've been very, very happy about them getting their flowers recently in the journalism word is Nardwar. Mm-hmm. Nardwar. I'm a really, really big fan of Nardwar. Do you know who Nardwar is?
I don't.
Right?
Yeah, I do. He's been a in
journalist for years, dude. Yeah. But he's so good at what he does, though. Like back in the day, like his detail for people knowing people's histories and all that stuff, like he's very, 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 very proficient at his research.
I think I was a little bit taken aback by you saying he's just now getting his flowers. I don't think.
Well, I mean, because of the fact that a lot of people would like they wouldn't respect him as much because of like his look and like his mannerisms in the show that he does for like his like pop-offs, you know what I mean? Like the way he stands or he freezes. A lot of people would make fun of it because they didn't get it, especially like in the hip hop world, because he's a really big hip hop journalist.
He is.
But a lot of that culture, they kind of find him like the nerdy kind of dude, and they want to make fun of him. But when he pops off and he comes in with like some really great history and things in the hip hop community, like I think recently a lot of people are like, holy shit, like I mean, not recently, but I would say like in the last like 5 or 6 years that people are like, damn, dude, like he's really good. And it's almost become this part where it's like a passing of the torch that you make it when you get to get interviewed by Nardwuar. Like a lot of these guys are seeing it like, fuck yeah, I was so happy I was going to get interviewed by you, because of the fact that he always comes with such great history moments in their life that they've forgotten about, but they get reminded of, and it brings them some kind of happiness or some kind of like memory that, you know, I mean, he's just really good at what he does. Yeah. And I really cherish the fuck out of Nardwuar, dude. Like he's such a good cat. And, you know, and it's so funny because I believe research wise, the guy from Hot Ones is very much almost similar to the way that he does his research and his detail.
Sean.
Yeah, Sean from Hot Ones. Very, very good on the way that they get in there, and they really, really get into the deeps and crevices of like people's history and surprising and stuff like that. Like,
you know who else is good about that? And I'm gonna cut you off. Another person that is close to me that I know that does a lot of interviews and is really good about like deep dive questions. D Vargas, he's really good about that.
D Vargas.
I don't know if you guys ever have watched any of his interviews, but he doesn't take that lightly. He does his homework, and honestly, our boy D, yeah. Our interviews when we used to do them, I used to take after him. Like if I was gonna model anybody about their work ethic when it comes to interviews, D is a good person to look after because he does his research.
When I met D in Harlingen for the first time, I was so mesmerized by his radio voice. Like he has such a phenomenal voice, like for radio. And then you, Brian, I'm so flabbergasted by you because of your personality online. Like it flows so well when it comes to conversations. Mm-hmm. Like me, myself, I kind of feel like I end up like, I guess being very winded in my conversations. Like I end up talking a fuckload. And I think my problems of like mispronunciations and like my little comedy skits is what kind of saves me, I guess. But man, you guys are so phenomenal. I love watching you guys work. Like I was so like, you have no idea how happy I was when you took over the show like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And I got to hear a whole show of you and Betancourt just going off and off and off. And dude, it was fucking great. Like that was great audio listening. I had a great fucking time listening. David over here too, man. His guys are picking up on some of the podcasting. They got 50 episodes coming up soon. So Dave, being that Brian asked you, like, what are your pros and your cons? What has been the hardest part of podcasting for you guys? Like now that you got your like fucking feet wet, 50 episodes in, like what's the hard shit, dude?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just I guess like the branding of it. You know what I mean? Like you want to be able to, you know, not only do we sell stuff, but we're also entertainers, you know, we're actual real people with real conversations and stuff, you know. I think it brings it to light. So not only do we get customers that come to the shop, but they're like, hey, man, you know, I saw your podcast when you guys were talking about this or that. Nice. Really cool. You know, it gets them to open up their wallet a little bit more, right? You know, make them buy a little bit more. Or they start sharing it, which is the better part for me. I mean, you can't put a price on a share. Mm-hmm. You know,
I usually see that it's just two of you guys on the podcast, but there's three of you. So how do you guys determine who's on the podcast and who's not? Is it availability?
Rock, paper, scissors, bro.
Availability.
Rock, paper, scissors, bro.
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's availability. So sometimes I was overnight having to work on a Tuesday. So I said, hey, you guys got to pick up the slack. So that's what they do. There's been a couple episodes where it's been all three of us, and those are actually kind of the funny ones because we're just talking shit to each other.
Yeah.
And some of the shit goes like far right, like I talked about the last time.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was like, bro, that was pretty fucked up. Like we shouldn't do that again.
So is that all organic, or do you guys have like a pre-production where you guys map out what you're gonna talk about and kind of flesh that out, or is it just like we're just gonna go? Like,
Yeah,
how do you guys go about that?
We do like the basics. I mean, we cover like anything related. So like when The Last of Us was out, we'd cover that. If we had any pre-orders coming in, like for example, like the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger pops that were coming out, we'd be like, oh guys, we're gonna get this in if you guys want to pre-order. And then we would just talk shit about the Power Rangers, like they fucking wearing Hispanics and shit. They're like fucking 40 and shit, like like shit like that, just to make it organic and shit.
Okay,
very good, very very good. And not only that, I wanted to ask how the shop's going, man.
I'll be there soon. So
nice.
We have new owners now, so they change us to a month to month basis, depending if they're going to raise the rent or not. So that's going to be a good one.
Jesus Christ. So you guys are kind of suffering economically like all the other businesses.
Yeah, I mean, they bought out the building itself. They only had like 5 people in like a 10-person like plaza or whatever. So they're thinking they're going to up the rent. If they do, we might stay, we might leave. I said it is what it is. Like, we got 4,000 followers, man. Like they're going to follow us regardless, So I'm not too worried about it. But the brick and mortar is going to be a nice change of pace once I get back. So yeah.
Sweet. And if you had a choice to move anywhere in the area, where would it be?
Bro, I would take 23rd and Nolana.
23rd and Nolana?
Yeah, so like where that Schlotsky's is now or some shit?
Yeah, there's the red chili curry place or
fucking place, bro.
Something.
But it was a cricket building there on 23rd and Nolana. I was actually looking into that one. But
it's Schlotsky's now. That's right.
Yeah, they bought up that building, bro. It was only like $7,000 a month, but
it's very close to where the Flux used to be there.
Yeah.
That old plaza's kind of been empty pretty much for a while though, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's not a bad location. It's a lot of traffic too, a lot of through traffic. But yeah, good stuff. What about you guys watch football? I heard a bunch of shit about football this past week, but I don't really watch it. Dallas Cowboys and all that shit. You guys big fans and stuff or no?
Dave.
Man,
it's like I'm only Dave.
No, because I can talk about this shit all day, and I don't know if I'm just talking to myself. So I want to know where Dave is.
No, I know. David, you watch that shit too, right?
Yeah. So I mean, with work now, I have more time to watch it. But I'm a fantasy football player, bro. Like I like to talk shit. It's my fucking jam.
So wait, you're in a fantasy. How many leagues are you in? Just
I'm
one.
In 2.
You're in 2.
Oh,
all right. What was your highest pick? So your first round, what was your highest pick?
So I got 5th round pick for both. I got
that sucks. You got Eckler
for both, yeah.
How's that working out for you?
So he was out. I didn't fucking know because of work, so I got fucked.
Yeah.
But besides that, it was good. I had the defense. I think I had fucking Kansas City when they scored like 31 points or some shit.
Okay.
And then my receivers suck. My running backs are better, but I'm old school, bro. Are you the type to draft a running back first, Brian? Or
so I had the 4th pick in my only league. I was in like 4 leagues last year, and I decided let's just cut it down to 1 this year.
Okay.
So I'm in 1 league this year. I got the 4th pick, which I hated because I either wanted McCaffrey or Kelsey. They both went before the 4th round. I mean, before the 4th pick. So I went Patrick Mahomes, my first pick.
So and quarterback first.
I went quarterback first. This is my first year that I ever went quarterback first in the first round. And I got a lot of shit for that. But I actually ended up with Tua as my backup, who is probably on the most prolific offensive probably of all time as of right now. So it kind of worked out in my favor.
Nice. That's good. I mean, you can't start 2 quarterbacks, can you?
You can't start two quarterbacks, but it's not bad having the best one of the quarterback for one of the best offenses in the league. Yeah. It's not bad to have it as my backup.
Yeah, I had Mahomes last year, so he did fucking beat.
So, fun fact: the majority of the fantasy teams that won last year had one of the 3 players on them. It was either McCaffrey, it was either Kelsey, or Mahomes. So I had to target one of those 3 players. McCaffrey and Kelsey went before me. Couldn't get them. I couldn't afford that wraparound to get Mahomes. So I went Mahomes first. That's the reason why I went Mahomes first.
There you go. Quarterback first. I mean, I used to do that back in the 90s, but you're good. I'm fucking with you.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
And Chris, you're not into football. You're not into sports. No, nothing, right?
No, I mean, the MMA world, boxing, kickboxing, all that stuff, I'm kind of more into than anything because that's kind of like where my recreational life kind of goes towards. Yeah. But I know football season's big. Like most of my fighters still watch football, you know, and all that stuff. So, you know, I get to hear like little dabbling of it in the gym every week. Heard the Dallas Cowboys didn't pop off this pop game.
They sucked ass, bro.
What was it or what? What was the score that they lost by? Is it real bad or what?
They didn't lose really bad. They went down early against the Arizona Cardinals. I'm a Cowboys fan. Mm-hmm. And Arizona Cardinals were not supposed to beat the Cowboys. Wow. They're not a better team than the Cowboys, at least on paper. And it seems as though like whenever the Cowboys play a team that comes out and just like smacks them or punches them in the face, they don't know how to react. If they come out and do the smacking and do the punching, they're usually gonna win. Okay. When they get a team that comes out with a really good game plan and puts them in an awkward position, they usually fold. So that was the Cowboys week. The Denver Broncos got smacked by David Tua, my backup quarterback, and the Miami Dolphins. They beat them 70 to 20. To 20.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they were a field goal away from having the highest scoring
game ever. Jeez, that's fucking horrible.
They had a shot to take that field goal and decided
they're like, "Nah, we've already fucking beat the shit out of this horse already."
Let's not do that.
So, like, I guess, I mean, is it still fairly? What is this like the first set of games for the year kind of shit that it popped off?
We're 3 games in.
Okay, so it's like kind of too early to kind of say like what's
it's still too
right
early.
Now. Okay. Yeah. But it's good. I mean, like I said before, like down here in the valley, like it's literally cowboy country. So like you kind of feel it across the valley, like when the Cowboys would go down or lose or whatever, because everybody's kind of bummed out and mad and everything. So that's kind of where I heard it from. So yeah, but good, cool. What about anything else like wrestling and all that stuff? Did the Rock shit kind of pop off this past week, or was it pretty dead again, or no?
I haven't seen. He hasn't shown up since. But it's kind of a foregone conclusion that he'll probably show back up probably around WrestleMania time, if not the pay-per-view before that. So yeah, and I know David, you're a WWE
pretty
fan,
avid
right?
wrestling fan, also. Huh?
Yeah, it's been a minute, but I used to watch a lot.
What are your thoughts about The Rock coming back right now, especially with him quote unquote stepping on Cody's ascension? Do you have any feelings about that or what?
I mean, bro, you got to respect the OGs, bro. It doesn't fucking matter who you are or where you go, bro. It's The Rock, bro.
Yeah, look at Brian. Look at Brian's face.
Man. you gotta respect the game, bro.
And it's time to shine.
What hill are you gonna die on?
Listen, I want to fight you on this very, 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 very badly. I'm not, because like I'm a Rock fan and I do appreciate that. I just think that's kind of fucked up. I think it's kind of fucked up for him coming back the way that he came back with all the progress that Cody has done over the past year and a half, 2 years. It's kind of fucked up. But I mean, listen, it's The Rock, like you said. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. I mean, it's cool to see him back though. He's very entertaining. You know, biggest draw in wrestling since, you know, Hulk Hogan practically, right? And Stone Cold and all those guys. So it's just I think it's very cool just to see him come back. Even myself, not being like a big wrestling fan, to see him come back and do stuff like, I'm kind of excited for the banter that's coming up.
But my question is what happens after? So like, if you're gonna take the shine away from Cody Rhodes, who is probably the most sought after and beloved wrestler
since their generation,
in all of promotions right now. And if you backseat him for The Rock to come in, what happens after WrestleMania? Then what?
Yeah, it's a good
like,
point.
Are we not thinking about the bigger picture? Like, I get it, it's a draw for WrestleMania, but what happens after that?
I haven't. Well, me myself, I don't really watch wrestling too much, so I can't really say. Like, the only thing that I could say that they bring The Rock back to do some kind of crazy shit like this is like, A passing of the torch.
That short term. There's no passing of the torch. He has the torch.
Who's he passing has the torch though? Because already
Roman Reigns. No, Roman Reigns has the torch. There's no passing of the torch. He has the. There's no torch to be passed. He has the torch. The problem is that you have been building for Cody Rhodes to be the one to take down Roman Reigns. As far as everyone figured, that's what was going to happen at WrestleMania. Then now all of a sudden, The Rock comes in, and now that's the focus. Yeah. My same question is, what happens after WrestleMania? You guys are thinking short term. What about the long term?
Got to put this up real quick. Elizabeth, good to see you in the comment section. Same thing, Robert. We saw you too, man. Good to see you too. Says listening to you guys talk sports and wrestling while watching Castlevania again is an interesting contrast. I have to ask, with the release of the new series for Castlevania, Elizabeth, what is your take on the new series that just popped off? Are you liking it? Are you enjoying this? Let us know in the comment section. Good to see you. Good to see you, San Antonio, in the house. Good to see you. Yeah, Castlevania new series, Netflix series that's been pretty prominent these last couple of months. Actually, a couple of years that it popped off. Just recently released a new series part of it, new episodes and stuff. Can't wait to see it. Really, really interesting show. Really great stuff, including a Generation V, which is based in the universe of The Boys. Just popped off on Prime Video. So if you guys haven't checked it out yet, you guys make sure you go check it out after the podcast. Not right now, because you're here with us right now, but yeah, it's only 3 episodes of that one, and it's pretty freaking wild, dude. Pretty freaking wild. Excellent. Elizabeth says she loves it. Very, very, make sure you guys go check it out. Castlevania, very highly recommended by our girl, Elizabeth San Antonio. Good to hear from you. Good to hear from you. David, actually speaking about wrestling, man, I had to ask. You guys got something popping off, too, with an alumni of the WWE coming up down here in the Valley, and I wanted to ask you because you are a big fan of the wrestling, that you actually help the wrestling community out here in the Valley by promoting a show. You guys got one coming up, man. I want you to talk about it a little bit, and we'll give you that time right now. The RGV Sports Show featuring WWE Alumni Hall of Famer Kane is coming to the South Texas area. What is it, Mission, Texas this time?
Yeah, so it's going to be at the Mission Boys and Girls Club, and it's actually Danny's event. We just sponsored it to bring Trotsky over and stuff. I think that particular show, the RGV Sports Show, it's grown so much from the original time. I remember attending the show just as an attendee and like looking around and saying, man, I really wish I had signed up for the show, because it was just popping off. But I mean, who's not a fan of the mayor, bro? I mean, everybody knows what Kane's for. I mean, you're not gonna tell me, Brian, you wouldn't want to meet the mayor, bro.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, Kane is Kane, man. Kane is Kane,
bro.
Yeah, so it's one of those things that Danny's done fairly well with his show. Like, of course, like every event, we have our learning experiences, our up and downs and stuff like that. But overall, the RGV Sports Show is probably one of the best sports shows that they have down here. What was really cool is I remember, I want to say like two shows ago, maybe 3. He had brought down, what was the dude that eats the apple? The fucking
Carlito?
Yeah, Carlito. He brought down Carlito, and Carlito just made a really great entrance back to the WWE, like kind of picking himself up back with the Mexican MWO, or what is it? Yeah. So that was really, really cool to see him get back into the swing of things and come out and kind of, raise the crowd up. So to see him that he was down here in the Valley doing that. He also had some other people too, which was a RVD.
Yeah,
was it Matt Hardy? Like he's brought some fucking names down, right?
Yeah, he's got some good stuff, bro. I mean, to me, it's like all the people that I grew up with watching wrestling. I'm not too into the modern as much. If it's on, I'll watch it type of thing. Over the last 2 years being in North Dakota, I don't really spend a lot of time watching as much wrestling. But I mean, everybody remembers Rob Van Dam, bro, 5-star Frog Splash, all that good stuff,
Yep. Yeah. The RVD. But what do you think this is going to do now? Because like Kane's a huge draw, dude. Kane is a huge draw. You guys, what kind of numbers are you guys looking at getting for the event for this one?
I mean, I know that he pre-sold some tickets. I mean, obviously, like if you're gonna bring a talent like Kane, you have to consider, a lot of people say, bring, John Cena, but you gotta have John Cena money, bro. Like
that's huge money.
Yeah, we talked about that in our last podcast actually on Tuesday. Like a lot of times we want to bring a lot of good talent, but when you find out that a signature costs $100, $200, $300, $400, then they're like, oh well, no, never mind. Like I just want to walk and see him. So
true that. Tell us about the event. Like what kind of pops off with this?
So the event's going to be on the 7th and 8th of October. They got one of the Cowboy linemen, Jeff Jokin, I think. He's one of the Super Bowl linemen. Not too too popular with that one. We got Kane Blake Forster, who's an MMA fighter and Power Ranger. But I think the biggest headliner is Kane. I mean, I know we were supposed to have Kevin Nash a few years ago at the Starbase
convention. Diesel?
Yeah, bro. Diesel's going to be here like 2 years. He canceled, but he was supposed to be here.
Yeah, Kevin Nash.
Which I remember Kevin Nash from The Punisher, just the Russian.
Yeah, dude, when he got stabbed for reals.
Yeah, I mean, I remember him like as a wrestler, obviously, right, with fucking Sting and NWO and shit. But
I remember as Super Shredder in the Ninja Turtles movie, dude.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, Shredder is.
Yeah, he was Super Shredder. Yeah.
Shredder.
The second film, right? Second film.
So I think that top off from. I mean, I think Kevin Nash is kind of more important than Kane. I'm gonna speak my piece down my hill. Yeah, bro, Kevin Nash, NWO, bro, like. The fucking new
Ryan, what's your opinion on that?
I'm gonna refrain because I know things about both people that I rather not, and I don't want to step on David's shine here. So get your shit off.
Bro.
Get your shit off.
I'm okay with it, bro. Shit.
Would that be because of like their like I guess like their outside stuff or what?
Well, just I mean, I appreciate Kane for what he has done for the WWE. Yeah. But what he has done since he's been mayor and the things that he's said, I don't
kind of against him.
I don't agree with a lot of the things that he believes in personally.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, it's one of those.
But again, I was not gonna talk about that. I was just gonna let you guys ride out. But since you asked me,
no, it's fine. I mean,
since yes,
like I'm not. I mean, no love lost. I mean, I'm not related or fucking hanging out with this dude, so it doesn't really fucking affect me at all. So like, if he's done some shit that's questionable, I mean. As a person, it's not bad to talk about, just to be able to make sense of it. When
it comes to wrestlers, though, you have to understand they're all kind of a piece of shit, like all of them, all of them. So it's like you just got to take into consideration what they did for the sport, appreciate that, and that's it. Don't and I've met wrestlers, I've met wrestlers, I've interviewed wrestlers. It's just take their in-ring performance for what it is, and at that point leave it at that, because they're usually scumbags.
That's that one weird Mexican guy. What's that one Mexican guy that they brought down that was like the fucking sex offender, or the fucking dude that like beat the shit out of that chick, or what was her name?
Oh, Del Rio?
Yeah, was that him? The guy from down here, right?
Alberto Del Rio. I don't know where he's from.
Yo, I could have sworn, dude. Let me see. I mean, Mexican.
He has to be his wife. That's why he's from the Valley. I'm talking with you.
I'm pretty sure you're talking about Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah, Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah,
he was been arrested.
See, that's how good I am with this wrestling shit. I just know
you know your shit. Yeah.
I know my shit, bro.
I just remember that there was, I don't know if it was Danny's event, but someone had brought him down one year, and this was like after that shit, and they were like, "Yo, come meet wrestler." I was like, "Yo, that's like." That dude like sexually assaulted someone. Like, I mean, I guess it's the Valley. Like, it's all right because I guess everybody does that down here, or what? Like, is it cool or what? Like, I don't know, but yeah, they brought him down, and someone was trying to promote him and shit like that, and I was kind of like taken at the fact that they would still kind of reach out for this person, but maybe he already paid his dues or.
Wrestling, honestly, out of all the professional sports in the world, I think wrestling is probably the craziest. It's by far the craziest. Like,
are there some people that defend like Chris Benoit and all that shit?
There's people that have like conspiracy theorists that say that Chris Benoit didn't do that.
That he didn't.
So do you think he did?
There's conspiracy theorists that listen. He did that shit.
Yeah, he did that shit.
If you're asking me,
he's practically not fucking.
If you're asking me, he did that shit.
The only thing that didn't happen was like the cops didn't come in and give him the fucking 3 clap on the kid or whatever.
There's a lot of people that are conspiracy theorists that think that it was a setup and that he didn't do that. So yeah,
there's motherfuckers.
So the wrestling world is wild. I'm telling you, the wrestling world is wild. I talk about this shit all day, every day. I'm in like 3 fucking group messages,
group chats, group chats and shit.
Group chats with people. Like, all I do is talk about wrestling all day, every day, as well as everything else I talk about. So like, yeah.
But like, okay, so you said you were kind of like in the sense of pulling back and not being so like hardcore on it.
Well, because I want David to sell this shit. I don't want to step on this shit. I don't want to.
Well, that's the thing. Like Dave's
a fucking asshole and he's a piece of shit.
He's a part of the show, but he's not doing the show.
I'm not.
Like, he's just gonna be there. Like he's not the one putting the cash down to bring this fucking dude down.
All right, well then fuck it. Then fuck Kane. How about that?
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Fuck Kane. That guy. That look better? That's what I really wanted to say, but fuck him.
What did he do? I want to know now. Like I want to know some nitty-gritty.
Me too. Let's just say his politics, his political views, I don't agree with, and I think they're very conservative. And I don't live a conservative life. I don't.
Yeah. I get it. Like it's they're not agreeing with kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, I just think that
he ain't eating fucking babies and shit like that, is he? Like
I don't know what he does in his spare time.
Okay, yeah, you're like I don't know what he does.
David maybe would ask him. I don't know. I don't wish to speak to him. I don't wish to see him or whatever. But I mean, it is what it is.
Robert in the comments like MAGA Kane, boy, MAGA Kane.
Yeah, so it's
WWE great again and shit. That's funny.
As far as wrestling, I do appreciate what he contributed to wrestling. I think he overstayed his welcome personally.
Like too old, like he kind of
he was too old. He was too old by the time he ended up retiring. I think he was too old.
But isn't that the same conversation people have with like the Undertaker and shit?
I have been saying that Undertaker should have retired 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Yeah, as like hardcore wrestling fans, let's go for you. And I know David, you're kind of a wrestling fan. You're not like super diehard. Robert in the comment sections probably got tattoos on his butt cheeks, like of WWE kind of shit. Like this guy's hard wrestling fan. What is he? He has like Mama Love You or whatever on his butt cheeks and shit. The Undertaker winning WrestleMania for like a million years, like that had to have lost flavor, right?
No.
That was still great, like even towards the end.
It was still great until he got beat by
Brock Lesnar. So fuck, dude, I would have gotten tired of that shit so hard, dude. Like I don't know, and that was like how many years did he win WrestleMania?
Fucking years,
dude,
bro.
It was like a decade,
like 15 years, was it?
It was like a decade. It was 20. Jeez. At that point, it was 20 and 0.
Bro, that's a whole ass person fucking paying taxes, dude. Like.
Shit. It was 20. It was 21 and 0. So I was one off. It's 21 and 0. Thanks, Rob.
Jeez,
it was 21 and 0.
I don't know. Me personally, I think I would have like maybe like if he did it a couple years and then they made that him losing into something in his prime, and then him come back and redo it and continue the reign and like,
it wouldn't have had the mystique that it did.
Yeah,
and Brock Lesnar beating him wouldn't have had the reaction that it did. That broke the internet. Taker wrestled another like 3 years after that.
But then what was cool too is like him and Undertaker had some real fucking nitty gritty bullshit going on, right?
After that, yeah,
because I remember Brock Lesnar doing his fucking MMA fights, his mamadas in the MMA world, and the Undertaker be in the crowd and he'd be walking by and he'd be like kind of like trying to talk shit to him. Like, and I always thought that shit was real funny, man. I thought that shit was real funny. But they actually had some real beef going on, right?
Who?
Brock Lesnar and Undertaker, like the actual guy. No. I thought they had some actual shit that was going on between each other.
No.
Brock Lesnar and Undertaker, didn't they want to do like an MMA fight or some shit?
Yeah, like I heard they wanted to fucking go at each other.
Undertaker and Brock Lesnar wanted an MMA fight.
Yeah. No kidding, dude.
Like he was on the way to the fucking ring and they like had to stare down and shit.
Yeah, you never heard of this? There's no way, Brian. You never heard of this.
Come on, Brian.
That's
it's fucked up if I know.
No, I mean I know. Like when they had like the laugh inside of the ring, there was like some animosity, but there was no way there was going to be a real fight between them. That's not a shoot. Like that's not a shoot.
I mean, unless it was a cross promotional type of thing.
They all fucking have problems. It's a cutthroat business. That's what I'm saying. WWE is wild, but it's not. There was no way there was gonna be a real fight between Brock Lesnar and fucking.
You just said,
I don't care. There's no way that you're gonna tell me that fucking Undertaker was gonna want to get into an octagon with Brock Lesnar, bro. We can't hear it, bro.
Oh, you can't. There's no volume, right?
No volume.
That's good. I don't want to get a fucking cut.
Just hit the closed captions, bro. Hit the CC.
Look right. Look.
That's
what was that, dude?
That's them selling it, bro. That's wrestling. That's not real. So? That's not real. That's not real shit. Do you know who Brock Lesnar is? You think that Undertaker is really gonna want to get into an octagon or get into a fist fight with fucking Brock Lesnar, bro?
The Undertaker can't even walk straight, dude.
Let's be honest, bro.
Can't even walk straight. He ain't even got two regular knees,
shoot.
Man.
It's a shoot. And I was old because Brock Lesnar was still in the MMA. He was still in UFC, so that was a build up for their next fucking fight.
What's up? Valvez, BW, BTW. What's up, man? Good to have you on the show. Thank you very much for tuning in.
You guys are the ones that the WWE makes their money off of because y'all believe that shit. Like that shit's fucking.
I just saw that shit after the Brock fight. I didn't watch WWE.
That's good writing, bro.
That's good writing, right?
That's good, man. I didn't think that was good writing. I thought it was funny to see Brock Lesnar fighting. Thought that shit was silly as fuck too, but he was all right. Like he ended up being okay, dude. But yeah, I always thought that was like a real thing, man. So I mean, good on them for fucking keeping their fucking work ethic together, but I always thought their shit was real too, man. So, but yeah, so Kane just politically, like you don't agree with some of his stuff, but he's not like a.
We don't have to spend too much time on this because we spent a lot of time on this, but like, yeah, I just don't agree with them on this.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It's just, yeah, I get you. But
bro, it's all the same thing because even the Dave Trotsky guy, he was canceled for like 2 years, bro.
Yo, so that's the guy you're talking with. That's the guy you're sponsoring to bring down to the show. So give us the rundown on this dude.
So with David Trosko, he was in the peak of COVID, bro, in the pandemic in 2020. He was like hype for the My Hero President Mike guy. Mm-hmm. And like some dude went to his TikTok and went to his Twitter and found a bunch of like LBGQ bullshit, blaming the coronavirus on the Chinese people and shit, and just took his whole thing out of context, bro. They fucking went through all his Twitter history and just burned his ass, bro. And he got fucked, bro. Him, Sonny Strait, all those VA actors were put on blast for having an opinion about their shit. So,
I mean, that was during a pretty
a rough time,
common time, and people kind of like going after each other and stuff like that. So,
I mean, you get it. There's a lot of things.
You had the opportunity. The cool thing is, like, you had the opportunity to already speak to this guy, right?
Yeah, we had an interview with him a couple weeks ago.
So, tell us about the podcast and what you guys got out of it. I mean, seemed like a pretty cool guy in the show.
Yeah, so he's a real cool dude. I mean, he understands what happened. You know, obviously, if someone's bored, they're going to go through your shit and put you on blast. But his thing is, like, obviously, he runs his business with culinary and stuff. But, you know, he thinks of it more as a side gig, as a second job for the voice acting. But he wants to get it back out there for the fans and stuff. So this is actually kind of his first signing within 2 years. Nice. And he was actually kind enough to do a signing for our shop. So he flies in on the Friday before. I think like at 11 a.m. on the 6th, and from about 11:45 to about 3 o'clock on the hotel check-in, he's going to be at the shop for a meet and greet whoever wants to stop by and stuff.
Very, very cool. Very cool. So you guys are going to have David Trosko, My Hero Academia, Present Mike. He also has done other shows too. He's one of the characters in Attack on Titan, Samuel in Attack on Titan. He does some other roles too. He's going to be at the shop just fucking doing an autograph signing for any type of material. What kind of prices are we looking at?
So what we're going to do is it's going to be his basic pricing, which is basically personalized as 40, not personalized 60. But for the first 5 people that come into the shop that spend over $20, they're going to get a free personalized signing.
So and a hand job.
And a good hand job.
And a hand job.
$40, sir. That's over $40.
$40.
$40.
Yeah. I might have to spend that
you got to spend the extra $10. You might get a little funny in the back, man. You might get a little funny in the back of the shop.
We have a back room, sir.
It's right next to the table and shit like that.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh, that's fucking funny. That's cool shit. That's cool shit though, man. So he agreed to kind of do like a store signing for you guys and all that stuff.
Yeah, because I told him, hey man, like the hotel check-in's out till 3. Like I'm not gonna drive around for 4 fucking hours, you know. So let's make some money, and we have a contract to get some free stuff. And I was like, hey, like, what if we do 5 free personalized for the fans, for the people, you know? Like, I think that's something cool. No one ever does that shit, you know. People just want to take people's money and shit. I mean, I want to take the money, but if I can give something back, why not? You know?
Yeah, of course. And then, of course, like I gotta ask, dude, like you being a part of like the vendoring and the events and all that stuff. What's up, Alex? Good to see you in the comment section, my dude. Always a fucking pleasure. 10 out of 10, man. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
What do you think organically needs to happen to events to kind of make the next step? Like, what do you feel, dude? Because I think we've all been feeling the squeeze, man. Economically, everybody's kind of getting a little bit tighter. Events are all kind of being the same. There's really not like anything really changing. Like, but what do you think is needing to change?
So I think people need to take responsibility for the results. You know, if you have a shitty event, you can't fucking blame it on somebody else and shit. You know, it's stupid as fuck.
True.
You know? True. And then the biggest thing is, and I know it sounds real shitty, bro, but if you don't risk your own money, you're never gonna take it seriously. You know, like if you're always playing around with someone else's money or something, like if it's a loss, you're just gonna be like, oh well, you know, fuck it, like it is what it is. But I think if you have a more organic approach to it and you genuinely give a shit, like you can help people make money. Because right now, looking into next year, we're already booking a site to do at least 3 shows for next year.
Nice.
And you know, the biggest thing, and I talked about before, is I do want to make sure that we try to do at least one of the events free. Like I'm not going to charge at the door.
Like, badass.
I mean, there's no point. Like, you gotta give back at some point because it's just people are getting tired of spending money like $50 and they're not happy. Like, what the fuck? Like,
and not only that, but like, especially in the region that you guys are, which is such a small
area.
Yeah. You guys have so many conventions and events. Like, people aren't going to be able to spend the 50 each week.
Afford, yeah.
They can't afford it.
Yo, you know what's even fucking crazier? Sorry, David, I didn't mean to cut you off right there. There was an event that just happened a couple of months ago. No, not even a couple of weeks ago. And oh, what's up, Moon Stompers? The average boys. Thank you very much, man. What's up, man? Welcome back to the show. It's good to see you, man. Thank you for jumping in. Wait, did you guys cut him off? Who?
What happened or what?
I don't know who he's talking about. What was really crazy is we just recently had an event not too long ago that brought in a bunch of guests, and now those people are struggling to kind of economically return from that fall of not being able to bring success from it. So it's one of those things. Like, I think a lot of people are clamoring at this idea on how to make events work in our area, but they're kind of like trying to jump the gun into getting into, like, you know, like the South Texas, like the Ramsey kind of events, right? And these people are coming in because they have a splooge of money that they can work with, but
splooge
of money, but it's just not economically. They're not able to come back from it. They're losing money, but they're just trying to make a name for themselves super fucking fast, super fast. And it's not working, man. It's not working. So like we recently heard that one of the events that happened a couple of weeks ago, one of the major contributors is closing up their shop because they cannot financially recover from bringing in all the guests and putting all the money down. And it's like, you know, I don't think anybody in this kind of like money making situation and everybody in the entrepreneurial world wants to like stop someone from eating or making money for themselves.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but
I'm an asshole, bro.
But I gotta jump in there though. Like, anyone that would risk their entire business for one show knows the ramifications of that.
The accountability is what's needing to be.
So they took a shot and it didn't work.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Yeah, it's pretty much what it's been going on. But
I don't think I would constitute that as something to be down on or look like say that that's like a sad story that they took a shot and it didn't work out.
And that's the thing. But what happens is you get a lot of these people that come out and point fingers. And they point fingers at other people and don't take accountability for their actions. Instead of just saying like, hey, well, you know what? We took a chance and it didn't work. I mean, that's the way running a business is about. And we
but who will put 100% of their fucking, I guess, net worth into doing that?
Something that risky.
Who the fuck would do that?
People in the valley.
Some people think it's easy, bro. They think they see the reward, but they don't see the risk or the investment. That's the fucking problem.
It's literally the biggest part about taking the risk is understanding the other side of not coming through with this. And even then, I listen, I salute the balls to do that because I think that's fucking awesome as fuck that you had the balls to do that. But if you don't make it, I'm not expecting you to cry for me or to be like, oh, well, this is because of this and this. It's because no, I took a shot and it just didn't work out. I'll come back later and do it again.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah, I don't know what these guys Moon Stomper. I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't have to acknowledge everybody.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, like, you know, welcome to the show and stuff. But I really don't understand what he's talking about. But welcome to the show, guys. This is a nerd podcast. I don't know what you guys are talking about. It's really crazy though, but you would associate the idea that these people running their events would do the research, get the fucking, footsteps and kind of put your mark in there. And a lot of these people are going off of the, they're going off of the South Texas Comic-Con experience or experiment, right? Which is like his foothold in what he's established in the last several years. And they're like, yo, if we just copy what he's doing and just do the same thing, we'll actually do better because we're gonna put fucking LED lights on it or whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that's kind of like the mentality, and it literally just didn't work. It just didn't work for him. And from what's going on, I guess like community wise, is people saying like that they're just not taking the accountability aspect of it, which is kind of very common in our area for people who end up starting something and then failing. They end up pointing fingers and then trying to come back, and the reputation is already tarnished in the sense of entrepreneurship and things like that. That's what kind of hurts the community.
Yeah.
That's what kind of sucks. That's why it's really, really cool that David's talking about the idea of like him being like, well, you know what? We're going to try to throw several shows, but we're going to try to make the effort to make like 1 or 2 shows free. Like, because it's not in the aspect of just like, oh, okay, cool. Us. It's like, it can be about us and them at the same time. I think it's very, very good. I think it's a cool idea, man. It's super, super good.
Yeah, it'll work out hopefully. And if it doesn't work out, fuck it, bro. I mean, just get back to the drawing board. It is what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think what's really, really cool is like the Valley itself is always pretty open about allowing people to do events and stuff like that and save money as long as everybody's willing to get in there and kind of get a little bit of the piece or whatever. So like with your idea of hosting a free event, I think if you did that and you brought it to like maybe like a city official or something, someone will be like, hey, well, you know what? We happen to have a building. We'll give it to you guys for free. We'll donate it as long as you let us like, put up a 2-table booth or whatever and let us run it in an event center.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Sure. I've been associated with the Valley for a little bit at this point. How much of this is clout? Like how much of this is due to clout?
80%.
From 80? That's fucking 95, bro.
Like at some point, we need to like talk about this because like I'm from the outside looking in.
Yeah,
this is more like 95% clout because like I would be surprised whether or not you guys are actually making any. Just me being just talking to shit.
Yeah, making money. Yeah,
I've had a few drinks. So I'm just gonna talk to shit with you guys. It would be surprising if you guys are actually making money off of this shit. To be honest with you, it's all about clout. This is what I'm hearing, and from what I listen to other people's podcasts from the Valley. I listen to you, Chris, talk about the shit that goes on. This is all about clout, and it's all about clout that doesn't matter at the end of the day. Like it's about clout about what? Clout from who? Clout from where?
And that's kind of like my big concern, and that's why I keep telling people like a lot of people are clamoring at this like be the best in the Valley bullshit. And it's like, bro, no one even knows the Valley exists. Like, not even to dick around. Like when someone says, "Yo, let's go to South Texas," no one's like, "Bro, McAllen, Edinburgh." They're like, Corpus, maybe San Antonio being like the deepest South. You know what I mean? Like, they don't even know where.
Padre Island is pretty dope.
Yeah, 1 week out of the year. 1 week out of the year.
It's its own thing. They think it's its own part of the world. Like, they don't believe that's South Texas. Like, that's like. I don't know. It's really weird, but that's the problem is everybody's clamoring at being the best in the Valley. And they don't understand that the Valley does not exist to the rest of the world.
That is true. I don't want to minimize what you guys do because I would never want to do that. But like, it just seems to me that there's a lot of bickering, a lot of just a lot of bullshit for no reason because outside of your bubble
region,
it ain't shit.
There's nothing to worry about, bro.
Yeah, for sure, bro. It's one of those things that how do you say it? There's a lot of when you're walking by and the crickets don't say shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of those things, bro. People are just gonna be talking. It's a cultural thing, bro. They want to look like they're doing shit.
And 100%, there's nothing wrong with representing the South Texas area and the Valley to things outside of the Valley and growing it and bringing popularity and acknowledgement and awareness to the area. Like there's nothing wrong with that, but that's a whole other thing than just trying to be the biggest in the Valley.
But then at that point, it shouldn't be about clout. It should be about just bettering yourself. Yeah, just bettering yourself or bettering your brand or your company or whatever it is. But to me, just again, it's just me from the outside looking in. It just seems like a lot of things are done for clout and for kind of like a, I don't want to say crabs in a barrel type of thing.
Oh, that's 100% what it is.
But like it kind of seems that way, and it's for no reason, because you have maybe one or two that may make it out the valley, but then that's it.
Yeah. But what's even crazier is
I've said this online. Like, if you guys would just band together, bro, you guys would have a lot better fucking. You guys would make a lot better impression on globally.
Yeah.
Than like individually, like just pulling each other down.
But the crab mentality is a really, really great way to put it, because like you said, like one or two, a handful of people may be able to leave the valley, and people care more about acknowledging that they personally know those people rather than trying to be as successful as them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like you have like, what's the name of that cumbia group that played with Pasa Pulma or whatever? The one that came out of the Edinburgh area. See, I don't even know these guys. Grupo something. It was a group that played. They did a collaboration with Peso Puma, which is another singer that a lot of people know, right? And people care more about being able to say like, oh, look, I have a picture with that guy. Oh, I went to high school with that guy, and all this stuff. They care more about that than getting themselves to say like, hey, well, you know what? If that band can do that, then let me get my band to try to, get us successful and see if I can get a collaboration or see if I can get some type of work ethic to try to get up to that level. Like, they would rather talk shit or claim that they know them at a personal level rather than work that hard.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And since one person made it, that should kind of prove that anybody else can make it. That's my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, that should be like, oh, well, if that person got that chance, I can get that chance. Let me work my fucking ass off.
And Alex honestly said one of the realest things that I've seen in a while. There's a lot of great talent there in the valley, and I will 100% agree with that. I'm a fan of you guys in the valley.
Thanks, man.
I just wish that you guys would band together to make more of an impression on outside of the valley. I think that's the play.
Yeah,
I think that's the play. So as opposed to just the negative things that I hear that you don't want to. Somebody outside of the bowl doesn't want to hear. I think you guys have a lot of good talent in the valley. From what I've seen, I've visited out there. As you know, I have friends out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very interesting and great place. I just wish you guys would band together a little bit more, personally.
It's just a weird situation. I think the valley's growing more from that right now, because I would say like maybe in the last like 3 or 4 years, you've had people successfully get out of the valley a little bit more and bring attention. That's why we even have in the wrestling area, you guys see it a lot now where people are putting like the Puro 956 and all of that stuff. Like, it's becoming more of like a brand, I guess you could say. And I think people are starting to realize what our region's like and what it's about based on the branding of this culture. You have a couple of people out there right now that are in the content creating world that are out there representing the AVL 956 and the Puro 956 culture as a brand itself, where when we look at it, it's literally us saying our area code. So it's more like a chant in a football game more than an actual like branding. Where it's cool like that the rest of the world sees it as like oh dude, is that a shirt? Oh, I'd totally buy a Puro 956 shirt, because they look at it as a brand or a culture or like a representative of like the Latino Chicano culture, I guess you could say. It's kind of like getting up there to that region where like the Chicano or the Vayuco or the Viejo like kind of like lifestyle is becoming more prominent, where people are kind of like wearing it on their sleeve more, right? Mm-hmm. That's what's really cool. That's what I've always like. I respect that a lot now. So maybe in the last couple of years, it'll pick up. Maybe in the next couple of years. So people start respecting the valley. It'll be less about cloud chasing and brand making, man. You know what I mean? So, but we'll have to see. David, so what days does it look like this guy's going to be at your shop, dude? And what times can people look at?
So he'll be there on the 6th, probably around 12 to 2, 12 to 3, maybe.
4 o'clock. 4 o'clock is when the hand job starts. So
shit,
yeah,
that's after hours. So I don't know. You're gonna be here, Brian?
When the stripper pole shows up.
Yo, mark me down for an hour. I didn't even need a whole hour to
Oh, fucking hour. Shit.
5 o'clock when the stripper pole comes up and he's got to dance.
Yeah, bro.
He's gonna dance. That's funny as fuck, dude. But cool. So he's gonna be at your shop till what, 1:30, 2 o'clock kind of thing, or what?
Probably like 2:30 at the latest. Just a couple of hours, bro. Just
okay.
Meet and greet, and then if anybody wants signatures and shit. So
good shit. Well, you guys heard it here first, man. My Hero Academia President Mike, homie of what's that fucking guy's name? Aizawa is gonna be there. You guys go check it out. David Trosco, cool cat, signing autographs, giving away 5 free ones, right? So 5 free autographs and shit. You can't get that anywhere else, guys. Make sure you guys go hit it. The Collectors Edinburgh. Don't forget. And tell David and everybody there that the Average Boy sent them. You'll get an extra hand job.
Yeah. Or we charge you more, one of the two.
You'll get a kiss on the cheek, dude, when it's all done.
I would definitely pay extra, to be honest.
Yeah, for a kiss on the cheek? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'd definitely pay extra.
All right, motherfuckers. We're going into the next section. We're going to be talking about normal shit. David, we're bringing you to the deep blue. You're jumping into the nerd talk now. Now we're doing regular podcast shit. None of this.
Oh, don't get scared.
Yeah, don't get scared, boy. We're going into nerd talks, man. We're going to even talk shit about Ahsoka later, so you guys be ready, dude. We're fucking ready for this. But for right now, guys, good fucking news across the board when it comes to entertainment. Looks like the writer's strike is coming to a finalization. They're kind of coming to terms. I think last 2 days ago, they were like, whoopee, we're almost done. But Brian, we were talking about this a little while ago. That they're kind of just coming to terms, right? They're kind of they're voting on it. They're kind of finalizing everything. What does this kind of correlate to, and what does it kind of tell us for the next couple of days and what we're going to be dealing with?
So basically, everything has been finalized. It has been presented to the Writers Guild itself, and now they vote on it. So everyone needs to vote on it. And if it gets voted through, then the strike will officially end. Everyone can stop. Well, they've already said that everyone can stop picketing as is right now. But the tentatively quotations could be taken away and it's over. And now we just have to worry about the actors. But let's just say that the writers got everything they wanted. I don't know if this is gonna work as well for SAG and AFTRA, but the writers got everything they wanted. Now, I don't know the finalized. It's not made public what the finalized, things are in that deal. But everything that they've asked for apparently were met, and so that's what they're dealing with. So it's a big W for the writers. So anything that was in development that was stopped, anything that was being previously worked on can be worked on
right back to work.
Filming,
even in the comments section, I think Dave said that even by Monday. I mean, fucking these guys are starting up real fucking fast.
Yeah. So again, it needs to go through a vote. Once the vote goes through and everything works out, they can work back, and they're anticipating it by Monday that they will be able to resume. They should be able to resume what they were working on prior. Yeah.
David, what's your take on all this fucking writers bullshit?
They should have had more fucking AI, bro.
More AI. Fucking more AI. David,
what a fucking villain statement. Holy shit.
Villain uses AI.
I died on that fucking hill before, bro.
Wait. Okay. So you can't. All right. Why though? You gotta back us up. Why?
Oh shit. Cost efficiency, bro. Shit.
Cost efficiency. Okay.
Hindsight. If you're in the comment section, that's a good post, dude. But elaborate a little bit more. Let us know what you think about their complaining stuff. More AI. Let's go. Dude. Let's go. But you know what? That's still a problem, dude. The AI is still a situation.
I'm not gonna let David off the hook. I need you to kind of.
Yeah, we need to elaborate.
I need you to elaborate into why you think more AI is good.
So I think the AI. So it's like we talked about before, right? So the organically versus man versus machine. If they can leverage the machine to their advantage to provide quality product, quality writing, it's gonna hopefully provide a better overall experience.
Wait, how so? But wait. But how so though? Well, why do you think that?
I mean, I think it sounds real shitty, right? But if you utilize,
no, we realize you're gonna sound shitty as fuck.
Yeah,
go full villain. Let's go. Full villain.
If you look at the podcasting, right, you can use AI to do your clips and so forth because you're filtering through so much information, and then you just have a bigger footprint. So why not give the writers what they want? It's going to cost money, but they're going to use it as a tool instead of their main tool. So it's going to be like they give it like a gadget on the Batman belt, and not just the first fucking thing you're going to pull out.
Yeah, but we're not talking about a gadget on a Batman belt. We're talking about the whole goddamn Batman, though.
Talking about the whole fucking suit, man.
we're not talking about a piece of his artillery. We're talking about the whole goddamn thing we're talking about here. That's the major issue you're gonna come into when you're talking to someone that's anti-AI. So it's like, I get what you're saying. Trust me, I get it. Because I kind of I don't want to say I'm in between. I'm more on the writers and the actor side on this. I think AI is some wild shit that I don't think we should really fuck with it that much. But if we did fuck with it, I think it needs to be monitored heavily, and it shouldn't take away from people's jobs. That's the issue that I have. Why are you taking away people's jobs for this? Like,
but that's just organically how the world ends up going. Like, you look at
not only
markets and stuff like that,
and not only that, but I would love to talk to anyone in any profession that is cool with AI taking over, because at some point AI is going to take over your job too. I don't give a fuck who you are. AI may bleed into your shit, and then you may have the same issues that these people are having. Granted, these are multi-millionaires that are whining about that, quote unquote, whining about whatever the fuck they're whining about. But it may bleed over into your shit, bro.
I'm fucking enjoying the comment section with Moonstomp and Hinder. Hindsight, like, you got their argument in the comment section is pretty much the argument around the whole thing, which is like, you have one person that's like, well, you know what, the creator needs to be someone that can actually produce actual stuff, because if you get it from AI, it's just copy paste. Like, that's the idea.
David, right? Let me ask you a question. Do you think your job is safe from AI?
No, never.
No, bro.
100%
no.
So then why would you be championing this shit?
Hey, bro, that's work for me to do, bro.
Like, that's the thing. Like, look, watch, like 100%. The more AI gets the opportunity to work and learn and comprehend, the more it's going to be able to do greater things. And what do I mean by that? Sooner or later, a guy with an AI computer is going to say, you know what? Let me hook this up to a fucking quantum processor or a quantum computer that can elaborately create things in like fucking 5 dimensions, and then give them the idea of Elon Musk's thruster to get off planet and onto the moon faster than anyone else. And the fucking AI is going to figure out a way easier way, because that's what it's created for. And then once it does that, then you don't need that thruster. It's just organically going to create. Sooner or later, AI is going to pass a cusp where it can do more than a human being can ever. And then we're going to have to just like allow it to go or cut it off. But that's the thing, like, there has to be moral laws that are created to stop AI from taking jobs from people, right? That would be the concept of it, is you need to be able to create, but that's like moral ambiguity. That's like you saying, I'm going to use my emotions to create laws so that way AI doesn't go beyond what we as human beings can create. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like, well, then why even create something of that nature? Like, why create something of that nature? Wouldn't you want, let's say, fucking AIDS, dude. Right now, human beings, we only know about as much as AIDS and cures as we can. If we gave that at a computer and in 10 years it came up with like 5 different cures for AIDS, like faster than any human being would come up with it. What fucking AIDS? Yeah, pretty much. I couldn't think of anything else, Moon. I couldn't think of anything else. Sorry, man. I needed to have something fast. Fucking hindsight's like, what? Fucking AIDS? I'm just saying, guys. Cool it. Hold on. Give me a moment. Let me cook.
Yo, I said the same thing, but I was gonna let you cook. I was letting you cook. Like, damn, you went to AIDS, bro.
No, but the thing is if you gave AI a prominent problem, and in 5 years rather than 20, it came up with a really, really great solution. Yeah, that's what I believe AI is created for.
Yeah, like,
it's created for that, because us as humans, we are only as good as the environment that we've created around us. Like, that's as much as we got. But AI can think beyond that, because it has no limits in education. It has no limits. We don't have to wait for the next smarter guy to come up with some shit. I mean, thinking about it, like, Albert Einstein, or what, Pythagorean theorem and all that stuff, those solutions are still being used now to teach mathematics when we should already be beyond that in some way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I believe AI is the next level of that. But if you do not put limitations, if we end up look at it and say, oh, well, you know what, it's going to take artists' jobs. Well, I mean, that's opinionated, man. Artists will continue to create.
That's not opinion, but that's the issue. It's not opinionated. It's going to take their jobs at some point. They like, if you tell me that the studios that are making billion-dollar fucking movies are using AI to create more billion-dollar movies and generate billions of dollars for their companies, you can't for the life of me think that other companies wouldn't want that same thing to happen for their companies. Yeah. So the Walmarts of the world and whatever the fuck, they're going to try to implement AI as well. My only thing is, who is monitoring this? Who is making sure that this?
Who's in charge of it?
Who's in charge of it?
Yeah.
Who's making sure that the economy doesn't just totally fucking collapse because of this?
On some situation.
Exactly.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's based on one dude who thinks he's smart enough to run this shit. One dude who was like, one day that was like, you know what? I'm just going to put it in TikTok and let a bunch of kids teach it how to make memes and shit. And that's the danger of it, is because, in my opinion, and I'm not fucking some scientist or some smart guy, I believe AI is as much a tool as it is a weapon, because the farther it gets the opportunity to evolve, the harder it's going to be for us to stop it. I mean, there was that one situation with Google that they created two AIs, and those two AIs started creating its own language within seconds, and we couldn't understand it. And they put a halt to both of them. They just literally like executed both of them in the middle of it. Why? Because sooner or later,
what is it? Chat GGP, right?
GPT and Midjourney.
That shit is able to smell and see.
How? Now. What is that? What? How does that make sense? I mean, see, I can understand, because you can create cameras and you can create all this stuff, but like smell.
So wait,
that kind of makes sense though too.
So you don't question it seeing, but you question it smelling?
Yeah, because I wasn't thinking about it, but like back in Area 51 used to have these like sensors that could tell when there was like a different scent in the air. And they would use that for people that would roll up on their in the jurisdiction of Area 51 when it was still active. Like that was some of the security defenses that it used. And that was back in like the 90s, dude. So you got to understand, like if we're like 2023, like the technology for them to be able to sense like different types of smells and environments, like that's got to be like super crazy by now. It's going to be super crazy by now.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the writer's strike is finalizing. It's almost over. And we still have the hurdle of the actors to go to get over, which I think is going to be a bigger hurdle than the writers. But I mean, half of it's over.
I mean, that's good. My thing is like, I could see the clamor, right, at the opportunity for that first artistic like guy that's like, if they got like what's that dude's name? What's that director guy that the Joker guy that they were talking about? What was that one dude? I can't remember.
Phillips
as Scorsese, right? Scorsese,
the Joker guy.
Yeah, not Phillips, but the guy that he gets inspiration from. That's Martin Scorsese.
Okay,
right, in his old films, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's say one day Martin Scorsese decides
he's got a new film coming out that looks fucking great with Leonardo DiCaprio. Looks fucking great.
Well, okay. Let's say he decides to dabble in AI one day and creates a whole script with an AI robot and then uses AI to make all the scenes and all the stuff. Everyone clamors behind it, goes and watches it.
Why would he? That's not how this works, though.
No. I'm just saying, like, you get an artist with a good popularity behind him to use this type of thing the first time as an artist.
That's what it's called. Killer Flower. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Killer Flower Moon.
Killer Flower Moon. Already, I heard that movie is fucking amazing.
It's good.
And that's a Martin Scorsese movie. Yeah.
But like, let's say someone like Martin Scorsese, someone with a really, really good backing and a good reputation in the culture of filmmaking, decides as an artist, like a Picasso or something, to say, okay, cool, AI, instead of it being a thing we're fighting, what if I can create it like a medium? And he uses it to create something and makes a full-length feature film. First ever full-length feature film done 100% by AI and with the direction of one person. Makes film. Everyone's going to go watch that bitch.
I've been saying that since the beginning of us talking about the multiple versions of the AI that's around. It's not going to be about fighting it. It's going to be about how you work.
How you're going to be able to use it and
how you're going to be able to use it.
Who's going to be the first person with reputation?
If you're smart, you're going to be able to adapt and actually use it in your favor. It's going to be a process that's going to suck because a lot of people may lose their jobs. But if you're a creator, you should be able to adapt and work with it. That's my view on that.
Yeah,
definitely.
Here we go.
It's almost like a gadget on Batman's belt.
It's almost like the gadget, but as of right now, like
there's your it's kind of like smell seeing technology for military applications back in 2013.
Yeah, no, it's here, bro. You know, it's here.
Yeah, it's there. Yeah. And he says, Moon Stomper says, are you saying it's an entirely AI script, or are you saying using AI screenwriting in the process? I mean, in that factor, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, you'll have to explain it then, but the idea of someone using it as a medium rather than a tool or a factor of something to kind of displace it and put it out there as a showpiece, it would be the equivalent to that one machine that scoops its own oil. You know what I mean? Like, it's just made to scoop oil. And in the process of it, it's like many people were talking about like, oh, you can't turn a piece like that into an art piece. That's stupid. It's made for the industrial market or whatever. And all it does is it ruins itself over and over again by scooping up its own oil over the years and the processing, it falling apart and breaking, and people understanding that the oil is recommended for blood and all this other stuff. Like, there's a lot of things that break into it when it comes to an art piece. All it takes is one really, really smart artist with a good backing that people like a Banksy, you know what I mean? Like one of those kind of guys, like prolifically known as an artist to make.
And when Moonstopper says is fundamentally different things, I don't agree with that. I think
he's talking about like if you're using it, if you're making.
I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying, but when he's saying that it's fundamentally two different things, I don't agree with that. It's all the same shit.
Yeah, I get what he's saying. But like, I don't think there's really much about the whole like fundamentals of it being like a different in thought. It's still
whether you use it for an entire script or whether you use it just to get inspiration. It's fucking AI generated.
Yeah, it's still generated either way. Yeah, no. The Area 51 part, I'd have to go find it, but it's in a documentary I saw a while back. But it's in the same technology base. One is using tool usage, the other is creating in full. That's the fundamentally different part.
I disagree with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's loose, I guess. Either way, you're still using AI, which...
Yeah, from a creator standpoint, I think that there's no difference in that.
Yeah. I mean, I could understand where he's saying, where it's like, if you get the person to like, let's say I come in with
I get what you're saying. I don't need you to break it down for me. It's like if you're a singer and you have somebody write an entire song for you, or whether you have somebody say, hey, you should do this here or do this there. I get what you're saying when it's fundamentally different, but what I'm saying is it's all the same shit. You ain't write the shit completely, so it's coming from somewhere, and
so if I use
it's all the same shit.
My car. Wait, that's even weirder, dude. So he says, okay,
horrible fucking.
I don't think that's a good example.
We don't have to keep acknowledging this shit.
I think it's just great. Like,
it's just funny shit though, bro.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. He said, so if I use a jack to lift my car so I could change the tire versus the jack changing my tire.
Yeah, you figure that out, though.
Yeah, I don't understand that because I've never had a jack change my tire. Like, I don't understand that. I don't understand that. But we do get
a guy named Jack change my tire.
Yeah, we do get what you're saying, but yeah, I don't think that's a good example. But yeah, I wanted to say that I don't know where in the writer's strike that they handled the idea of the AI. Like, I don't know what they're coming to terms with, because the idea was if you're bringing writers in, and let's say a writer himself chooses to go into ChatGPT and say, I need a script based on one character that's a guy, another one that's a girl. They argue, then they make out at the end, and he gets it printed out, takes it to the studio. The studio says, hey, this script is great. Let me pay you fucking $5,000 for your hard work. Like, again, there's no hard work being done. Like, no hard work being done. He just used AI to write the entire aspect. That's been my argument the whole time about that.
It was probably something that they just overreacted towards the beginning, and then they figured out how it was going to be plugged and played. That's how they came to the agreement.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's a little bit awkward. But yeah, it's good to see that the writer strike is finally coming to an end. I would like to see what terms they come to when it comes to using the idea of AI, because that's been the biggest concern, in my opinion, in the sense of how they're going to do it because of the artistic value of the change of using AI. So we'll see what's up. But talking about that, being that the writer strike is now coming to an end, we are going into our comic book park discussion, and that is going to be that now Marvel is looking for new writers for the X-Men. Now they need a whole new set of writers to do this thing. Brian, you're more up on this a little bit. What's going on about the whole X-Men thing? Like, I knew that they had the things going on. The X-Men thing is kind of what we're pushing on. The idea after it's going to be Secret Wars. But what do they need, man? What do they need?
So because of the ending of the writer strike, they're offering out anyone that has a script for the new Marvel X-Men to present it to Kevin Feige. He has been advocating for the X-Men for years now, and now it's whatever writer that wants to create a script for it, it's their time to shine. So he's asking for writers to submit any script that they have and see what happens from there. My question is, how confident are you guys about now, David? I don't know how familiar you are with the X-Men or with comics or whatever, but how are you guys confident with just anybody submitting a script to Kevin Feige for this new gem that they acquired from Fox?
I don't know. I'm kind of iffy, man. I'm kind of on the field. I'm on the fence about it. David, since you're kind of like, we don't really get your opinion a lot when it comes to this stuff. I mean, people probably know where I reign. I'd like to get your kind of like info on this, dude.
You know, honestly, if it's an open casting call, I mean, obviously it's going to filter out the not so, talented writers. But I mean, I think just in the general sense, when they're rebooting the universe, they can find people with the right idea. They just want to grow that brand into that next phase, that next Avenger stuff. You know what I mean?
I get that, but the thing is when Kevin Feige puts out this open call, I guess if you want to call it that, right? Every agent of a writer is going to submit their person, even if they know absolutely nothing about the X-Men. That's the issue. Like, that's the issue that I'm going to have, is because there's going to be no agent that says, yeah, my writer doesn't know anything about fucking X-Men. They're not going to, they're going to be like, no, they know everything about the X-Men, and they're going to be submitting this shit to Kevin Feige. It's a little weird, being that it's being presented and it's being news that there's like an open, I guess, challenge, if you will, about, submitting a script for the X-Men. I think that's a little bit weird, personally.
Yeah, that's a good point. David, like, what would you prefer? Okay, so like the idea is Kevin Feige's out there pushing for your idea of introducing the X-Men to the universe. Would you prefer someone who is, or someone that can bring like a great resource material to the information? Or do you think it's going to be something based on like the whole, like, I mean, there is like a weird push going on in Disney, like in Hollywood and all this stuff. Like, do you think he favors more of the resource material when it comes to introducing the X-Men to the world? Or do you think he's going to kind of take it like in a whole new format?
I mean, if you look at the track record that Disney's had compared to the writing material, they've modified it to a more modern time than having to when it comes to the villains or the storytelling or whatever it might be. But I mean, if you look at the last X-Men run, right, you got X-Men 1, 2, 3, Future Past, and all this shit, right? Mm-hmm. At one point, that story did take a sharp right. But by just making the open casting call, they're probably going to look for somebody who's got a, let's say, 10-year plan that's going to align to where they're going. Because ultimately, like for me, maybe it's just me, but I lost interest after X-Men 2. I mean, that's just personal opinion. You know what I mean? It became out of track, timeline reset and stuff. But Bishop never really got what he needed. I'm still big on the X-Men fucking 90s series. You know what I mean? That not the re-release, but the original.
Yeah, you're the cartoon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so the cartoon, the animated series. Yeah, it was really good.
And that's what we grew up on. It was semi kind of aligned to what the comic book was, but I mean, ultimately, they just got to have that fundamental foundation for each character and kind of build it apart. So, like, if you ever look at the One Piece, I don't know, did you guys ever finish One Piece or no?
No. I got to see the live action. I've seen a couple of the beginning series, but like I've never like really been. I'm kind of watching like the shit that's going on right now, kind of like at the end, because I don't really want to like barter through the 900 something episodes.
Yeah,
but
so
I mean, I'm pretty up.
I didn't watch the anime. I watched the live action. But if you look at the live action, they broke down each character's background, and then at the end, it all came aligned. So they have to have something similar to that plan, but also that's going to tie into the multiverse because that's what they want. They want to sell toys. They want to make tickets and shit.
That's a good point. So, like, do you believe the X-Men should? Well, I mean, they're going to get introduced through like the Deadpool, but the Fox universe, right? But like, do you believe 100% that the X-Men as the characters that are going to stay in the Marvel MCU need to be established already? Or is this something we should wait for them to like kind of like finish out what they're doing right now and then introduce it as like a whole new part of the universe? Because we've had this discussion before where Brian and I have talked about like after Secret Wars, Marvel should do a whole brand new series, but it's just going to be the X-Men phase. Like the X-Men phase, and the movies just literally like move away from the Avengers series and all that shit and only focus for several years on the X-Men being built in that same universe.
I mean, I think that would be the best thing, man, because they can get together, like fix all the shit that they've done with that part, and then just start off with a nice, healthy X-Men story. Because I mean, how are you going to top off Hugh Jackman from Wolverine, bro? I mean, that's a big shoe to fill. Yeah, like whoever gets that role or whoever does the writing, they're fucked. You're fucked because you're so accustomed to a 10, 12, 15-year establishment that he's done of himself, of Hugh Jackman. But I mean, I would say if you're gonna go, you have to go all in. You can't have a side project with Loki, Multiverse, Kang, and stuff. You just gotta be focused on that storyline and whatever villain you want to go. Whether you want to reintroduce Omega Red,
nah, fuck that, dude. Yo, you can't. Nah, fuck that, bro. Like, if you're Kevin Feige, bro, you didn't come this far to pussy out, bro. You can't come this far and start being fucking reserved, bro. We're going balls. We're going balls to the walls, bro. We got Avengers over here. We got the West Coast Avengers over here. We got the X-Men over there, bro. We got fucking Spider-Man over here, bro. We going balls to the wall, bro. Fuck that, man.
So earlier I went to go eat right before the show, and we were sitting with my brother and his wife, and we brought up the idea of like, well, what do you do? Like, you're about to start the incursions, Loki, the
everything, bro.
Everything's about to pop.
Everything is popping off.
Like everything is moving towards a multiversal situation and shit's getting fucking wild. And then in the background, you got the fucking Thunderbolts that are fighting like some congressman just for some bullshit that has nothing to do about the multiverse. Zero to do about the multiverse. And then in the other fucking side, you got Werewolf by Night, Moon Knight beating some fucking weird ass dude's ass in an Egyptian fucking pyramid. You got a chick that can grow wings. You got a fucking Black Knight who it just found out that he was dating this chick that's immortal and got sucked up to space by a giant fucking weird alien.
And so you guys are talking about slowing that down and just focusing on the X-Men. There is no way, man. No shot. That's happening,
I was fucking dude. Literally, what I think they need to do is like right now there was a huge talk. And we talked about this and we were really excited. Midnight Suns. Fuck yeah. Like, whoa, that's super cool. Right now, Doctor Strange is about to cut a hole in the fucking multiverse and walk into the dark dimension and battle some very weird looking shit with a chick named Clea, who came out of like literally fucking left field for no reason.
Battling
and he just got back from introducing himself to a million different versions of like all his friends. He cares nothing about fucking witchcraft, cares nothing about a dude with a flaming skull, a fucking weird Egyptian samurai ninja fucker. Like, he doesn't give a shit about that because that's the smallest part of what the big fucking shit's going on. My thing is they introduced all of those little formats, those little stories at the end, and then they introduced all this big fuckery, and now they cannot bring it together to make sense. Like, the only thing you can do is introduce.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, I mean, dude,
we don't know that. We don't know
Thunderbolts. What the fuck are the Thunderbolts going to do in the incursion?
We don't know that. We're in the middle of this arc.
Incursion.
We're in the middle of this arc that really hasn't even begun yet. We haven't even seen the first. We haven't even seen the first incursion yet. We don't know where they're going with this.
They're about to fight like 13 versions of the fucking Avengers.
When it comes to Deadpool, I think. Listen, I think once we hit Deadpool, I think that's like the halfway mark, and I think a lot of things will be introduced. A lot of things will be explained in Deadpool, and from what I'm hearing, Deadpool will lead directly into Secret Wars. It's not gonna.
True. I can see that.
It's not gonna like lead us anywhere else, but directly into Secret Wars. So once we have Deadpool, and I believe that Deadpool is like the halfway mark for this arc. I think once we get Deadpool, which is coming up soon, we will feel a lot better about where they're going moving forward. Personally, that's my.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I think because Deadpool's going to introduce all the heavy hitters from the old Fox universe,
everything.
Right? Which is like you're going to get like the Dark Phoenix for no fucking reason.
You're getting multiple X-Men. You're getting multiple Wolverines. You're getting multiple characters, and they're all and a lot of them have been confirmed for Secret Wars.
But that's the thing, like all of those dudes are heavy hitters with superpowers that haven't been introduced into the world. I mean, if they just introduce Storm, she's an Omega level mutant. She can literally like fucking
Halle Berry is confirmed in this movie.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like Deadpool's situation is going to introduce a bunch of heavy hitting characters with like marvelous superpowers. So like them fighting Kang,
that's not already established though.
Hold on. Them fighting Kang, them fighting a Thanos, them fighting like all these characters that all of them have cosmic abilities. Like that I could see happening. The Thunderbolts are just a bunch of dudes that use gun and one dude can copy the way you fight. Like how the fuck are they going to keep up with any of those people?
Who are they going to be introducing to create this problem for you? Like who are they introducing that you don't already know? No, just people that you don't already know.
Well, you're going to know all of these characters.
Like, so then what are you talking about then?
Like, okay, so like I said, like Moon Knight, the Black Knight, Blade, Werewolf by Night, Man Thing,
and Secret Wars. You mean?
Yeah, Secret Wars. Like you're gonna establish like a bunch of street level characters, but you're bringing in all these heavy hitting characters that make more sense to the story because it's so like over the top with its villainy, like with its actual like super villains. Okay. But what I'm saying is like, what is the gravitas of them introducing the what is it, the Thunderbolts this late in the Secret Wars game? Like, where do they stand their mark in the fight of it? Like, you have a bunch of Black Widows and Hawkeyes. Like, how are they gonna stand up to all of this like weird Kang and his established like generals throughout all of like Battle World and stuff? If they go that route. I mean, fuck, they may go any route right now. But that's my biggest thing is like, I feel like the X-Men, I could see them being established early, but that's because we're getting them from the Fox universe, right? And we already know those characters by heart because we used to watch those as kids when those movies came out. But of course, the introduction of the new, because this is the Marvel right now is looking for the new writers for the new X-Men that's going to possibly be for the after Secret Wars X-Men, I'm guessing.
I honestly think that, and from what I'm hearing, again, it's just rumors.
Yeah.
That when it comes, again, the Deadpool movie is gonna create it's gonna open a lot of doors. I think that with what they're planning for what I'm hearing, what they're planning with Deadpool, it's gonna be one of those things where they're gonna try so many. There's gonna be a lot of different characters in this movie, and whichever one sticks, they may run with in the future, leading forward.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Especially with Wolverine.
Yeah, he's gonna be like straight up. You already know this.
So if there's a Wolverine that the fans stick with, because there's gonna be, I'm telling you right now, there's gonna be multiple Wolverines in this Deadpool movie, multiple.
Yeah,
and if there's one that stands out more than the other, that could possibly be your Wolverine in the MCU
going forward.
Yes.
Yeah, going forward. Oh shit.
And it's gonna be that with a lot of characters as well.
I can see that. I mean, that's kind of important because, you know, I think the X-Men are probably one of the most beloved franchises when it comes to this. So a lot of people want to at least see that done correctly.
And why make more work for yourself if you're going to be in a multiversal movie where you have multiple fucking characters of multiple people playing one character, and one person is gravitating towards fans, why not just cast them for the next fucking shit?
Just keep them.
Makes fucking sense, right?
Yeah. David, what do you think, man? Who would be your choice of actor for Wolverine, man?
No, bro, that's a fucking hard one, bro. I would go with what's his name, the one from the Kingsman, bro, for sure.
Egerton.
Yeah, Egerton,
he is on the line, man. He's one of them. The other one that surprised the shit out of everybody a couple of days ago or weeks ago was Daniel Radcliffe. Came out on
there's no shot he wins. I think it's down to two people. I think it's down to either Egerton, because he's had multiple meetings. He's had multiple meetings with them. And I think a dark horse is Zac Efron.
Zac Efron? Really?
I didn't think about Zac Efron. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, after his jaw surgery, he does have like that mean old jaw now, right?
And he's built, bro.
And he's built like a brick house, dude. Yeah, especially with that new show
that's with AI, bro. You'd be fine.
Like I said,
he's the fucking wrestling show for the Von Erichs.
The Von Erichs.
He looks fucking ripped as shit, dude.
For what I'm hearing, he's like a dark horse that could sneak in and beat Wolverine.
Well, the reason why I say Daniel Radcliffe is because recently he was doing a Paramount show or something like that, and he came out. It's like a post-apocalyptic world. He came out fighting like in his underwear. And he fucking came out like to do some like fighting in like an apocalypse or some shit. And he looks ripped to fuck, dude. Like he looks like he's in fantastic fucking shape. Like if you were to tell me
for years though.
Yeah, if you were to tell me he was training for the Wolverine part, like I would
That's Harry Potter, right? Harry Potter.
Yeah.
He's been in shape for mad years though.
Yeah. Like, but I'm talking about like, look at this fucking picture, dude. Like and this was just literally, like I'm saying, like a couple of weeks ago. This was him in that shot in this part. So they wanted to do like a fucking, like that's impressive, dude. Like that's impressive. So I know for sure Daniel Radcliffe is one of those guys that people are talking about. The dude who played Wolverine for Bat in the Sun. Now, fucking straight gangster. Bat in the Sun is an amazing freelance production kind of like company, and they do an amazing thing. And the guys that they choose, there's a guy, and I want to say, man, I forgot his fucking name. The guy that plays Batman. The guy that plays Batman for all his roles.
Pete Holmes, bro. Pete Holmes.
Dude, he is so good though, man. He is so good. The guy that plays their fucking the guy that plays their Batman is always super good. But the guy that plays their Wolverine, they always knock it out of the park. Always knock it out of the park. Porter, right? I can't remember his first name, McKevin or something like that. But great fucking actor. Great actor. Across the board, Bat in the Sun's amazing. Can't wait for the Legend of the White Dragon. Still waiting on that for the Jason David Frank movie that they got coming out. I'm really, really excited. But yeah, actually what's really, really crazy, talking about multiple variations and keeping everybody like in check and to seeing who they're going to keep. This kind of correlates very well with what we've heard go off recently about James Gunn. James Gunn in the DCEU, man. A lot of people are kind of up in the air about what he's doing with the format he's going to be following. And he actually answered a couple of questions this past couple of days ago, answering some of the fans about what they want to know about it. And he actually gave a list of people that he's keeping or considering. No, I would say that this is a list of people. It's a short list, very, very fucking short list of people that he's going to keep for going into the DCU. So they're not going to call it the DCEU. They're going to stick that to what they had. And the new one's going to be just the DCU, which is pretty cool, kind of MCU-ish, very easy on branding and stuff like that. But what are your guys' takes on the whole James Gunn thing, keeping the Peacemaker, Viola Davis, and Blue Beetle as his characters? Like, what do you guys take on that, man?
Dave,
you're our guy, man. You got to go first because people know what we're gonna say.
So definitely, with James Gunn, bro. I mean, I haven't seen Blue Beetle. I heard the movie had some opportunities, that it wasn't as strong as a movie, but I mean, definitely John Cena as Peacemaker. I think that was a good role that he played. Amanda Waller, bro, you just love to hate that lady, bro. Like, just straight up honesty, like
she's definitely a fan favorite.
Yeah, she does so good in that role, and if that's going to be kind of their starting three, I think that's the correct three. I mean, I haven't seen Blue Beetle, so I'm a little bit kind of throwing the wind out there. But with John Cena and Amanda Waller there, like both of them did, fairly well in their roles. I know she carried over from the previous movie, but it was just good acting there, man. Like,
David, let me ask you a question. Sure. When it comes to Blue Beetle specifically, I know that you said that this is a character that you haven't, been really close to, or you haven't seen the movie. What would you say if I said to you, he's needed for representation for the Mexican culture? What would you say to that?
Chill, bro. Bet, bro. Shit. The money moves,
You're
bro.
all for it.
I mean, at the end of the day, if the story makes sense, because there's a difference between catering to a culture and catering to a good story. You know what I mean? Okay. So from what I heard, because I think it just came on the Xbox Store, I was talking to a buddy of mine. The movie wasn't that good. I said, bro, you got to fuck me up. Like, I'm about to watch it, and he's like, just keep your expectations low, man. I mean, I thought as an actor, he was really good at Cobra Kai. Trailers were pretty good. Poor performance. If it's a good fundamental part, I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, I still am a big fan of Ezra Miller's Flash. I know the movie itself was kind of very optimistic and stuff, but I think just him being the actor for that was also good as well.
I think that and me and Chris have talked about it. I think that representation is important. I think that it's needed. I just think that, and I was on record by saying that there was no shot that
Blue
Beetle would move on into this new era. But I stand corrected. Apparently, he has plans of moving him into this new regime. And honestly, I'm happy because I think that there is a representation there that is going to be needed.
True. Yeah. Because I mean, even with that factor, like Blue Beetle is a fan favorite when it comes to certain parts of the DCEU, and that version of Blue Beetle has practically been the most popular character based on the whole Teen Titans and the cartoons that had come out and all that stuff. And the actor did not do that bad for the character. Yeah, from what a lot of people talked about was that it was very very silly, very cartoony, very like they said. But going into this, James Gunn has said the official first movie of his new DCU is going to be Superman Legacy. Like Superman Legacy. But a couple of months ago, he had said that the first movie was going to be Blue Beetle, or that was going to be the first character in his universe. So, like, I guess a lot of people just took that, got a little confused based on the idea of like, okay, well, Blue Beetle is going to be the first movie. But he kind of put it out there that it was going to be the first character in his format, which is all right, understandable. But again, we talked about.
Why is that understandable though? The movie did horribly.
Because of the fact that it's not going to go based on the movie. It's going to just go based on the character. So them knowing, I mean, the character's still fresh. Like, he's still fairly fresh. And not only that, he's never been introduced, never been talked about. There's no crossovers. There's no Zack Snyder characters that are in it. It's kind of like a free world. It's kind of like a free base.
Okay.
Yeah, so like
I don't think that makes any sense whatsoever. I agree. Honestly, I think that is strictly based off of the representation.
I mean, and it's like I said, he didn't do that bad as the character.
Yeah, David.
Well, I mean, my thing is, if you're going to go by the representation of culture, is that why they're keeping all three characters, John Cena, Amanda Waller, and
no, John Cena's his boy.
He just likes to hook up his homies.
Yeah, no, John Cena's his boy, and Amanda Waller is a fan favorite. And I think that you could have added what's her face?
Gal Gadot.
No.
That's what I thought too. Quinn?
Margot Robbie.
Yeah, Margot Robbie. He would have added her if he wasn't sure whether or not she would reprise as Harley Quinn.
I think she will, dude. I really think she will.
Well,
the reason why is because that's just she knows that she knows that, but technically she knows she's built for that character. Like she was born to play that more than fucking Barbie.
It's okay, bro. They'll get Lady Gaga, bro. It's fine,
bro.
Fuck it.
She is a part of $1 billion fucking enterprise right at this point, bro. She is not coming back as Harley Quinn, bro.
Ah, man. Well, I mean, wasn't Wolf on Wall Street like another $1 billion film?
No,
it wasn't. I thought it was. Fuck.
As opposed to Barbie.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't watch Barbie, but like I
didn't watch Barbie either, but I know there's $1 billion fucking movie.
That's easy money for her all the time. Like that's literally what it is.
What movie has she done that made $1 billion?
Well, I thought Wolf on Wall Street made $1 billion.
No, I'm telling you, no, it didn't.
Okay, well, I didn't know that. I thought she.
So what other movie that she has a bit? So, granted, even if let's just say, for instance, The Wolf of Wall Street made $1 billion.
Made $1 billion,
right?
Yeah.
But it didn't. Let's say that it did. What movies has led
she done then?
Yeah, if you were a part of $1 billion movie, she would be all over the fucking place. But no, she took a chance on the Greta Garwig chick, and it just so happens that it made
it fucking fired. Yeah, it worked out.
It fucking fired off.
Yeah, it worked out.
Now she's out of here. She's not going back to fucking Harley Quinn, bro.
The only way that I could see it being where she comes back as Harley Quinn, if she even gets it, because
those movies tanked, all of them. All of the movies that she was Harley Quinn, they're all bad. So as of right now, if she were to be Harley Quinn, it's hurting her image. She just came off of $1 billion movie. Why would she go back to being in a movie that's not going to make money?
Yo, but technically, did it really ruin her image? Like she is.
I'm not saying it ruined her image. What I'm saying is it didn't make any money. So when you're going to be an actress in Hollywood, you want these resumes of these movies that are making money. You can't go to them with fucking Suicide Squad. You can't go to them with the Birds of Prey. These movies tanked. Yeah. You gotta go to them with the Barbies of the world.
Well, how much did you make?
Look it up.
They made $1.383 billion worldwide.
And Barbie.
In Barbie alone?
Yeah, I looked it up. Yeah,
damn, dude. But how?
Yeah. Now ask me how much she made. How much the fucking Suicide Squad made?
Shit, no, but I want to know like I want to know what her pay was for.
Doesn't matter.
Barbie.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know what she made. No, because she's on contract.
No. That was. I think she might have got points for that. I don't even.
Yeah,
think
I was gonna say like.
I think that was more like she got like a executive producer points for that. Like that was a risk she took for that.
How much do you think she made?
She made a lot of fucking money.
12.5 million. Yeah, 12.5 million for Barbie.
Yeah.
That's all right. That's pretty good.
It's pretty good, right?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And you're gonna ask her to take that 12.5 that she made from that and do what with another fucking Suicide Squad or a James Gunn movie?
Let me see. I'm trying to figure out.
Business wise, it just doesn't even make sense.
So for Birds of Prey, how much do you think she made?
I don't know. How much did the movie make though?
I don't know. I'm just asking how much she made.
That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what her asking price is. Is asking what really matters is how much did the movie make.
Though. That's kind of interesting though, man. She made $8 million.
That's fine. How much did the movie make though?
Okay. What was it? What's your Birds of Prey?
You're telling me. You looking it up.
It made 84.2 million and
205.3 million. Oh yeah, 84.2 million in the United States and 120.1 million in territories, and worldwide $205.3 million.
Yeah, a lot different from 1 billion fucking dollars, bro.
Yeah, but she was crazy. Like, she was only paid 8 million. Well, she was paid 8 million in this movie, and then only made 12 million in the other one. That's a big pinch. And the other one was $1 billion movie.
Yeah, but royalties and
that was a big pinch for her.
I'm telling you, she took points in that. That was almost like she produced that movie. Yeah. She took points in that movie. So even the 12, she could have made a lot more than that. But no, she made a lot more than that. What I'm saying, she made a lot more than that because she took points.
The Suicide Squad, the first movie made, or the second movie, 168.7 million, and Suicide Squad, the original one, $747 million. It almost made $1 billion.
Yeah, so after everything was done,
was
right?
all the bullshit. Yeah,
and honestly, she had no points in that. This movie, this $1 billion fucking movie that now she's at right now, she had points in that. So she not only has production points in that, but she now can be accredited to making $1 billion fucking movie. She's not about to go back to fucking Harley Quinn, bro. If she does, I would be extremely surprised, bro. Extremely surprised.
That'd be really, really concerning. Yeah, but then again, it's one of those things like, okay, James Gunn as a director has this opportunity to create something brand fucking new. And I think it's a huge fuck up that he's even claiming that he's willing to bring the fucking Peacemaker guy, Amanda Waller, and the Blue Beetle's kind of up in the air because he's kind of fresh or whatever. Like, that doesn't have any correlation to the Snyderverse or whatever the fuck they want to call it. I think 100% he cans everybody and just starts new, fresh, all across the board. That's what I think.
Even with them saying that he's bringing
everyone, fuck everybody. Like, the Blue Beetle kid, fine, whatever the fuck. Like, you can chalk it up to being like a precursor to the universe just to test it. But everyone else across the board, fuck them. Like, they didn't work. It didn't work. Like, there's no reason for them to keep one or two clamorers, because then, like, it goes across the board. Like,
you can't make an argument for any of these people to come back.
None of them.
Even John Cena. Yeah. Even John Cena. You can't make an argument.
They're looking out for a homie, man. And I get it. I mean, you want to kind of hook these dudes up because I think James Gunn's just full of his own shit. And he's just like, nah, but Peacemaker was the best thing. I got to bring him back, guys. And it's like, no, bitch, just can everybody. Because you already had all the fucking Justice League members come in that show. So he's already connected to that fucking universe. You know what I mean? Just can them all, dude. Can them all. If you can do it with John Cena, he can do it with any other motherfucker that lifts weights. You know what I mean? He's got it. He can bring in any other dumb guy to kind of dance around and act dumb. Like, I just think across the board, he needs to cancel everybody. Erica Chance Patrick, is that our boy? Wrong Hole Rick, is he in there?
That's
our boy, man. Says she will want 20 million a film now. No, 50 million, brother. 50 million. She's asking for 50 million now, which I mean, I think she's worth it. I don't know who's going to pay that shit, but I think she's worth it.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, her prices just went up. Like, her everything about her just went up. And I don't think for our Harley Quinn role, they're going to want to pay that. It doesn't make sense. Again, business wise, for her end, and from the studio's end, it doesn't even make sense anymore for her to go back to being Harley Quinn. Those movies didn't make any fucking money, bro. It made $700 for the Suicide Squad, but that had multiple fucking people in the fucking movie. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and I'm a really strong believer James Gunn needs to just fucking cancel everybody and just bring it all as clean slate. Yeah. That's what I think. And I am ready for it. I'm ready for DC to be successful. I'm ready for them to bring us great shit. That's what I'm ready for. So
they're definitely due for something, man, for sure.
They need it, right? Like, they need a win. They need a fucking win. David, are you excited for James Gunn being the kind of like the captain of this ship for DC?
I mean, I think once he starts getting his footprint going, it'll be better. I mean, there's been a lot of talk. He's been talking a lot, but I think it's a different support system in DC than Marvel, you know? So I think that's what he's trying to build around him.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good fucking point.
Ask me that same question.
Ask what?
Ask me that same question, yo.
Go.
No, ask me that question.
Brian, do you think James Gunn is going to be a great captain of this ship or what? The DCU?
Fuck no, bro. No.
What? Dude, it hasn't even started.
And that's why it hasn't even fucking started, and he's just shit in the bed. And he's shit in the bed already.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yo, I want to ask. Okay,
and not only that, but these motherfuckers in Warner Brothers might sell next year. If they sell next year and they don't want to keep James Gunn, this shit might be up in flames anyway, bro.
Yo, I have to fucking ask you guys. I have to ask. And Wronghole Rick in the fucking comment section. You're here, bro. I need to answer this. If by chance it all starts to fuck around, what movie do you see James Gunn fucking bailing at this ship, like taking the life raft and being like, sorry guys, I quit?
Yo, I remember it was a stream with you, me, and Triggs, and I said, and I heard this long ago, that this could possibly be just a stunt for him to make as much money as possible and
fucking
dip.
Bail, dude.
And dip. Not giving a fuck what happens, where he leaves it, nothing. He gets paid by the movie, which is why he came out saying that he's writing the majority of them and he's directing some of them.
Yep.
He's getting paid by the fucking movie and he's gonna dip again. Warner Brothers is up for sale, bro. They may be bought out by next year. When they get bought out by next year, they might not want to keep him. So why not just run it up as much as you can, make as much money in this next year or two, and call it a day? Would you not do that? Like, I would do that shit. Like, would you not do that shit?
even fucking crazier than that is this guy James Gunn has got enough momentum in himself that he has now brought in a pretty heavy cast of hitters for his film, The Toxic Avenger, which is like his trauma shit back in the day. Like, what if he's just throwing all of this out there to kind of like raise money for that and try to derail it?
He gets paid by the project. So if he gives you The Toxic Avengers, because that's another fucking couple million in his fucking pocket.
But that's his own personal shit.
Yeah.
So like, I think he ends up fucking over the DC universe and just moving on to this flagship if it gets the momentum. That's what I think. And Peter Dinklage is like his first fucking dude. And then fucking Elijah Wood, bro. Like Elijah Wood, that's already too huge. Kevin Bacon. Like, come on, man. Like, these guys are huge guys and names that are going to be coming out in like some weird.
This is a scam, bro. This DCU shit is a scam, bro. We're all getting scammed.
It's a fucking 100% scam.
It's a fucking scam, bro.
Straight up. That's what I think. I think it's all fucking fake and phony. I think it's all fucking fake. Onwards to the last part of the conversation. Speaking of scams and things that we don't disagree with,
we don't like about the fucking Gen V shit, bro.
The which one?
The Gen V shit. We spent so much time talking about this fucking James Gunn shit. The Gen V shit. The show.
I mean, you guys haven't seen it though. I don't want to.
I saw it.
Oh, Brian saw it. I haven't seen it yet.
Episodes though. You didn't see the last episode, but okay. So Gen V just dropped, which is a sideshow of course, everyone's fucking favorite fucking debacle of superheroes, The Boys. Brian, what did you think of the first two episodes, dude?
I liked it, bro. I really did. It's woke as fuck. I'm gonna be honest with you.
You're like, dude, it's really fucking crazy, dude.
It's woke as shit, but I liked it.
You know what? I agree with you, dude. It's a good show. It's a pretty good show. The cast is like it's pretty full-hearted compared to like, it's a cool turnaround from what The Boys gave us. Right, The Boys was always like Homelander and the fucking.
I think it's right on par with what The Boys gave us, bro. That shit.
But the characters are very full-hearted. Like, they're very like morally like not gray or dark. They're kind of people who actually care about shit, and they're dealing with actual like problems. They're dealing with real situations. Like the main girl, like she had like a whole like boys kind of introduction to her powers and shit. But like, it's her trying to, go through college and be a winner, and then like trying to understand and be like this popular character because she understands the value and trying to win her sister's love back and like all of this cool shit. Like, it's all right. And then the main character, Andre, he's dealing with all of this like father issues and trying to make his dad proud. His best friend was like the number one in the college, and then something happens with him, and there's a lot of like caring where you're kind of like, my opinion was, I was taken in the fact that all of these guys were really like just like the Seven. They were all just a bunch of chauvinistic, like, let's just fuck and that's it. But like there's heart to these characters. Like they're very well connected and they're really, really friends. Like
so we don't have to like heart, because it wasn't even a topic. So what you so for the first 3 episodes, what are you grading this series?
Dude, I'm giving out of a 10, I'm giving it like a good 7.5, 8. Like I think it's a great show, and I think it's, for being 3 episodes, it left on a good cliffhanger. I'm really excited to see where it goes in the next couple of episodes. Like the cast is good, the storytelling's good, the action and the CG is like phenomenally good. Like yeah, it has its weird perversions and grotesque etiquette or whatever.
It's the boys, bro.
It's the boys. That's literally what it is. So like if you've already seen the boys, like there's nothing that's a surprise.
I was gonna say, if you were able to get through the orgy fucking episode,
the orgasm, or what is it?
Orgasm. Yeah, you can get through this shit, bro.
Yeah, it's and the reason why you can get through it is because the characters are likable. Yeah. All the characters are really, really likable, and they all have their own like pathway that they're following, and everybody, like, you can invest in it. Like you can invest in it. I think it's a really great show. So if you get an opportunity, really get out there and check it out. And we'll be covering we'll get into it a little bit more in the next episode of our show, so that way we can give everybody the opportunity to watch all 3 and really get delving into it and hopefully find out when the rest of the show is going to be coming out. Super worth it. David, you haven't seen it yet, right?
I haven't seen it yet. I barely saw the first season of The Boys, and I fell in love with it.
You're in for it, man.
You should watch The Boys.
Like, yeah, honestly,
I would say I would watch The Boys before I watch this.
So finish that.
Because I wouldn't watch this if you didn't watch The Boys.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, like, fuck, you're barely past the first season of The Boys, dude. It pops off in the second.
The Boys is good, by the way.
Yeah,
it's really
good.
It's really fucking good.
Billy Butcher's the fucking best.
Yeah,
Billy Butcher's the best. Yeah, but speaking of shows that let us down, guys, Ahsoka Tano episode 7. Speaking of fucking weird ass television shows, boys, we have episode 7 of Ahsoka Tano. Ezra Bridger, back doing his thing. Ahsoka Tano doing her thing. Sabine doing her thing, and Thrawn just eating tacos and chilling out in his base. Like, guys, I gotta understand. I gotta ask. Episode 7. Give me your take on it.
No. You always ask people questions first. How about you go first?
I was gonna let David go because these are guests. These are man at arms today.
No, why don't you go first?
Yes, we will allow it today.
Okay. David, we'll hang
Actually,
it back.
You know what? I may have the more positive outlook on this show today compared to you guys, man. Fuck. I thought this was a great Rebels show. This was perfect for the actual Star Wars cartoon, The Rebels. I thought it was pretty fun in that essence. As a live action, this shit was not good. Not as the second to the last episode, not being a part of a bigger, huge story in the situation of the Star Wars lure and all the stuff that they were talking about. Each character has such a weird fundamental entry into this episode. And what I mean by that is, like, Sabine is out there doing her shit that's very Mandalorian. But when Ahsoka finally comes in and pops off, she pops in and starts fighting Baylan, who, of course, Baylan fucking steals this show completely. In my opinion, his character deserves more spotlight than any of these characters have been. They could have made 2 shows. One of them called Rebels Live Action, not Ahsoka, and then the other one called Baylan, the Dark Jedi, or the missing fucking badass that no one ever knew about. You know what I mean? The myth, the fable, or whatever.
So before we get all over the place, why don't you give us some positives and some negatives from this episode?
My positive is this really gave me the nostalgia of the Rebels show.
Okay.
Like, this was like, if this was an episode of Rebels, 100% would have been a great episode.
Yeah.
You know, even the cool like Ahsoka sliding in off of the horse, like in her lightsaber, the stances and Thrawn talking about the battlefield and like putting all these things in a format as the show for Rebels. I would have thought that was great. I would have thought that was fucking fantastic. Yeah. The fight was good. The action was good. The little turtle people, I'm not really sure what they are. They're really funny. They're really funny when it comes to all the stuff. Them even, you know, taking the advancement of putting that weird horse that Sabine was riding, and they put him inside the turtle during the war scene and all that shit. There was a lot of like good Rebels material. My negative would be that the translation of that does not correlate very well with the live action, because the over the top explanation of how you explain fear or fighting in a war that people can die from to children to adults is way different. So like when they're doing, you know, I'm going to use the force, and he's over here fucking pushing dudes and stopping blasters and shit. In a cartoon, that shit makes sense. In a live action, zero fucking sense. Zero fucking sense. You know, him going and the turtle throws a coffee cup and it knocks a dude out. Funny. Cartoons, that works. Live action, it just looks stupid as shit. 100%. We had the biggest letdown in the show, knowing that all of those stormtroopers were just regular dudes in suits that were all just fucked up. There was nothing mythological, there was nothing spiritual, spectacular connected to the Dark Sisters or the Mothers or whatever. There was nothing connected to that in those soldiers. Other than that, all their accents are just shit that they chose to do on their time off to make their suits look cool. Like, and that's disappointing. Like, could you imagine if when he was shooting him and knocking him out, the spirit of the characters would have came out like Morak or whatever that fucking dude's name was? That would have been interesting. Ezra would have seen that and been like, holy fuck, is that dark magic? Like, you could have kind of changed the vibe of it, the value of the fight, what he's doing and what he's fighting against. It would have confused him more. Yeah, other than that, everything was just lame.
Okay. David?
Well, unfortunately, I haven't seen Rebels or Clone Wars. I haven't seen any of the animations. Oh, wow. I think the best part of that fucking episode is that it's a fucking filler and it's done with already. You know, that's just that's like it's like check the fucking box. I mean, the best part, I mean, it establishes the characters a little bit, but I know we were talking about Balin before and kind of opened up my eyes to thinking what his part is, because you know, at some point within this story, you know, and I'm a huge like Mandalorian fan, I'm a big Mando fan. At some point, Ahsoka dies. At some point, Mando dies, and you want to kind of know why, when, where, what happened. Was it a correlation that they worked together? You know, and the thing is like, if we're coming into that final episode, like, you know, and I'm not gonna say what Brian's gonna say, but it just you literally just check the box at it. I mean, I get the animation part where it's gonna be funnier and in person, because he's like, I'm gonna use the Force. I'm like, well, that's fucking stupid. I'm gonna get a fucking blaster. I'm gonna fuck this guy up. But I guess we're gonna use the fucking Force against 50 other fucking people. But I mean, that was just my opinion on that episode.
Brian? Yeah, I gotta piggyback off of that. I just think this episode was a waste of time. I think being from episode 6, we were under the impression that time is of the essence, right?
Yeah, that's long gone.
And for this episode, I think that that didn't carry over. Like, there just wasn't any stakes being presented to us. Everything took way too long. I did not need that stormtrooper fight. I didn't need that. Yeah. Like, I got the fight prior, you know, the chase in the cars or whatever, the hover chase, and then the fight there. But I like the additional stormtroopers. I get it. It was supposed to be a diversion. I get it. I didn't need that. I need to know what's going to happen or what's leading into this last episode. Those are my negatives. And I don't have anything, because I still actually like this episode. Yeah. I just think that it would have served better earlier on in the season. My positives, though, I do have some positives about this episode. This episode, Balin, like you said, Balin to me is
such a highlight.
The one in this show. Yep. He is the only one to be interested in this show. I have been a fan of his since episode 1. I think he's probably the most interesting character so far. And now it's with me, watching Rebels. I don't think Ezra's that interesting right now. I don't think Sabine's that interesting right now. I think Ahsoka is, leave her. Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? But I do think that Baylan is the one. My only knock with Baylan is I just think that we're missing a part of his story. I don't know what changed between episode 6 and episode 7, but now all of a sudden he's just so cool with just leaving the mission and leaving Shin to go do her own thing. That's not the Baylan that I watched the first 6 episodes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a little bit confused by that. I'm a little bit confused by the writing. My issue mainly is I don't understand why these shows have multiple directors. I don't understand that. Like, these shows have a director for episode 1 and 2, and then 6, and then 3.
And everybody's got a different style and shit.
Different directors, exactly. Yeah. So like you're getting a different style every episode, and I just think that if something is working, don't fuck it up. Don't fuck with it. I don't know who directed this episode, but I think that they did a very, very bad job.
Yeah, it was very sitcom-y or something.
Yeah, I think they did a bad job. I think Baylan, who for me again has been a fan favorite, just took a turn that made absolutely no sense whatsoever. Maybe that's not even on the director. Maybe that's on the writing or something. But whoever that's on, that was poorly done.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, like that you mentioned it, and that it was in the show, like out of nowhere. He had like this whole entire like structure that was behind him, where he was kind of like following a format of like almost like a dark version of a Jedi instructor with what's this girl's name?
Shin.
Yeah, Shin. And trying to course her into being a better Padawan almost. Like she even has like the Padawan like little thing on her necklace that you see her like for her hair that they cut off when they become masters, and like the format's there. Everything's there in the sense of how they run a Jedi. And it's like you said, like the earlier episode, he was kind of like even coursing her into like how they're supposed to be thinking. Shin is very much still learning from him, still trying to understand the battlefield, even the format of like 2 Jedis and how do you handle 2, and even the history and the rich history of everything going on. And then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, like he notices they find Ezra, which was the plan in the first place. It was his promise to what's her face, so it's even just keeping the same shit. And then all of a sudden he just looks at this chick and goes, "Oh, hey, remember all that shit I taught you? Like, forget it. You could just go off and do your thing."
She's done nothing to me to make me think that she wanted
that
something otherwise than what he wanted.
Then to follow him as an apprentice.
But for some reason in his head, he was like, "Oh, well, you're about that over there, like what they're doing over there. So why don't you go do that?" I didn't get that.
I didn't get that at all.
I got that she's following you and your orders and what you want to do. And now all of a sudden, because honestly, I have no idea, but now you think that she wants to be a part of the Empire. So why don't you go be a part of the Empire? That was like, again, we're missing something. Again, this would have served better earlier on in the season,
in the show,
as opposed to the second to last, because now we have so much to tie up, and we have no idea what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's very weird. The Shin story, because we talked about this, I think, like last week, right? Where we had mentioned like what do we think was gonna happen, and I made a comment and I was like, "Oh, you know what? I think something's gonna happen to Baylan, and Ahsoka's going to try to get her to move over to the dark side." But we assumed that it was going to be something drastic, like Baylan was going to get screwed over and killed by Thrawn, or like a complete fuck over, and Baylan was going to die because that that Abelath or whatever her name is going to come out and fuck it all up for him. And you know, we had, but the thing is there was an extremity behind it. There was something super extreme that we thought was going to be like, oh, that's going to be the turning fucking face of Balin.
Yeah.
Not this shit where he's just sitting on a hill watching everybody shoot each other with blasters and then be like, man, this is so boring. You know what, Shin? Like, head back with Thrawn. Like, I'm going to go that way. Like, he didn't do anything. Like, he just went, oh, I'm going to just go. Like, there's no fucking structure behind this.
The Ahsoka and Balin fight was great.
It was dope. It was good, though. My opinion is that the fight scenes weren't bad. All of them weren't bad. What was bad is everything around that shit, which was the entire fucking episode. Like everything around this, like the whole.
You got Thrawn sitting there with his fucking chessboard out. Fucking, you're telling me that this mastermind that I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
But ever since I started getting into like
Thrawn
character, all I've heard is that he's like the mastermind, strategist, or whatever. And you're telling me that the best plan he came up with was just to waste their fucking time?
Yeah. And you know what I liked about that is they had fucking Morgan there and she was like, we're fucking getting our shit pushed in. Why do you think this is good? And he's like, let me explain. And he's like, yeah, look, you see, I wasted all these fucking resources. I wasted all the resources and time and got our guys killed when I literally said last episode, we cannot afford resources or fucking time. And then he's like, but fuck it, let's give up these. And he's like, but if I give it to them, they'll think they're winning and we can get information. And I'm like, bitch, like, you're going to leave and they're going to get there by space whales and they're going to leave by space whales. It's not a big fucking surprise for me. One, you got one dude who didn't know he could call fucking space whales that took you there 10 years ago in the first place. This mother's been fucking living with turtles out in the middle of nowhere, getting stronger. And now he can fight without a fucking lightsaber very fucking well, too. And then you have another chick that just learned how to talk to space whales and get them to take her to where they need, like exactly to the place they need. In fact, what was even funnier in that episode is when she's talking to fucking the robot being the audience is like, bro, you don't even know where this is going to lead you. Like, how did you fucking tell them where to go? And she's like, I don't know. I'm letting the Force fucking take me. I'm like, bitch, that's not the way this works. When you have a direction, you got to tell this thing where to fucking go. If you say one extra light year, you're a million miles past, you're fucking 20 fucking years down the planet away from it. Like, how is it knew exactly where to go? And the reason why is because the writing sucks. Because the people think the audience is stupid and we don't see shit. Like 100%, I thought it felt like, did you kind of giggle when Sabine Wren, after she fucked everything up, she fucked everything up in the show. And Ahsoka slides in and saves the day and they're looking at each other and they're being all laughing in the fucking flowers. And then she's like, I thought you died. And Rosario Dawson was like, bitch, please. Like she looked at her with like a bitch peace face and was like, and miss this reunion? I was like, the fuck is this? Like,
and not only that, but as someone that just recently watched Rebels, Ahsoka and
they fucking didn't like each other. They didn't even care for it. They didn't even know each other.
Yeah,
it was weird.
Like, Ahsoka didn't have that kind of relationship with
Ezra.
She didn't have that relationship with him.
But she had a better reaction.
And as a matter of fact, before they all fucking left, she was ready to be like, no, fuck him. If he's out there, leave him out there
let him go.
Because it's gonna cost too much to bring him back. To bring him back. She was ready to leave his ass out there, bro. And so now all of a sudden that she sees him, it's all hugs and kisses and fucking I miss you shit.
And that was a better reaction than Sabine did when she first fucking saw him too. Remember, Sabine was like, high five, buddy. Here's a fist bump or whatever the fuck.
You just risked the whole fucking galaxy to see this fucking guy. You should give him like a blowjob immediately. Immediately. As soon as you see him, tell him to drop his pants, I'm fucking blowing you because I just sacrificed the entire galaxy for
you expected like a jump on him and a kiss or something to solidify like everything we've thought as fans from Rebels that was going to happen. Like why risk 10 years of caring and watching a hologram and fucking over the galaxy and the fucking New Rebellion and bringing the dark side back and doing all this shit? Why do that for a dude you're just going to give a fist bump to?
Imagine being fucking Luke Skywalker and realizing your whole galaxy is in jeopardy because this chick wants to fucking imagine
that shit. Like it's been such a wild race. And you know what I expected, and this is so stupid of me, but I was almost done with this entire fucking franchise, dude. Because at the end of this show, the little turtle walks up and holds his fucking hand and like is trying to talk to him and he's trying to calm it down. And for some stupid fucking reason, I had this idea that Ezra was going to turn around and be like, oh, let me introduce you to my friend. This is my wife. And then credits. Like I thought he was going to introduce the fucking turtle as his wife. That like now it's like that. So it was. You can't tell me you were that far fetched. Where he was like, "Bro, I've been here for 10 years. What do you want me to do, man?"
10 years, bro.
Yeah, like I 100% thought he was going to turn around with the little turtle in his hand and be like, "Let me introduce you to my life partner." And I was going to be like, fucking smash my TV, flip my fucking thing, and be like, I'm done with this. I'm done. And then credits,
pussy, bro. Might not be that bad, yo.
Fucking done. Yeah, I was so waiting for it. Be like that being the last part before the credits start. And then I was like, this is the season, the lead up to the season finale. Like this guy just introduced his turtle wife, and they just
get to you try, Chris.
I do it, and I was like in my mind, I was like, this is the best writing we can get, dude. This is it. Like, yo, okay, so I gotta ask, because the show doesn't explain anything. What do you think the importance of the packages were that are all in the bottom of that ship for no fucking reason, that are so fucking important? Why the fuck did Shin stand there like a dumbass for so long after being asked if she just wanted to join Ahsoka instead? Like, why did she just stand there like...
You're asking us questions that we should have gotten in this episode. I think that's what aggravates me.
Yeah, but like, okay,
you're asking us questions that we should have been answered. Like at the minimal, we should have found out what the cargo was.
Yeah,
at the minimal.
Oh, but yeah, okay, yeah, that's 100% what the show should have answered. It didn't. And the thing is we theorized last week about these soldiers being like some badass fucking like, oh man, dude, they got to be like death troopers, because it would have been a great setup for the writers to do some shit like that. Yeah. Now that we know these writers are full of shit and they suck and they've given us fucking stupid shit, what do you think is in the cargo? Like, what do you think the importance of the cargo is?
Who fucking knows, dude? Like, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, at this point in the season, I don't think there should be many questions. There's too many questions, and I think that's where I got frustrated last week when I came and I had all these. I said, "Yo, dude, there's so many questions that need to be answered
within the next 2 episodes."
That was in episode 6, right? None of those got answered in episode 7. So I have the same questions leading into episode 8, and I'm trusting the writers and the directors to execute all of this in 30 minutes.
Yeah, of one episode, right?
Of one episode.
God, dude, I'm so fucking.
That was my issue. That was my issue with episode 6. I was like, I have so many questions and none of them got answered. And then I'm thinking, all right, well, listen, we still got episode 7. They'll be able to fix that and we'll be able to get some answers. Yep. They literally answered no questions in episode 7. They literally just extended episode 6 and answered nothing. It was the wildest shit I've ever saw in my life.
Yeah. That format, this streaming format's starting to fucking get to me, dude. Like
I told you, this is the Disney Plus way.
Disney format, because this is the same shit they did in the last Mando show when they were all waiting for that fucking when the Ham's Mandalorian gets killed and everyone's kind of like trying to deal with that shit at the end of the movie with Moff Gideon. And
you're right, because I remember it was season 3 of Mando. I was like, yo, there's so many questions I have, and they're not gonna wrap this up in one episode, and they didn't.
And they didn't.
They didn't. They just gave us whatever the fuck they gave us, and that was
they just wrote off some shit, and then they left all those unanswered questions. Then they ended it where Mando's in a ranch on some house with the baby Yoda with a little Looney Tunes escape, and I was just like, bro, that's weird. That's weird. It's a weird fucking ending.
Yeah.
And for some fucking reason, I 100% believe that the show was called Ahsoka and it was like this because it was going to be like one season. Like the way like Obi-Wan, like I thought it was, dude, there's no fucking way, dude. It has to be a second season or a third. I hope it doesn't go to 3 seasons because there's no fucking reason. There's no fucking reason to take this that far. You already fucked up all this shit. Theorizing. What do you guys hope is in the boxes? What do you think the precious cargo is going to be? Because really, like, a bunch of turtles and fucking 3 random dudes beat the fuck out of this guy's army in the middle of a desert. Like, there's no way this guy shows up and the whole armada of the fucking New Republic doesn't fucking clown this fucking dude right when he pops off.
Stead witches.
Okay. I heard that rumor, and I think that's a really interesting take. Dave?
That'd be a Sith Jedis, bro.
Sith fucking Jedis, like old school Jedis brought like all dead ones and shit?
Well, I mean, it has to be a resource on the planet, bro, honestly. I mean, that's what they're taking back out from the galaxy, you know what I mean? So it has to be something from the planet.
And the thing is that galaxy has those weird fucking like characters that came out in that video game, no? And Jedi Survivor, the ones that are like the old school fucking, they have like weird head shapes. They have like triangle head shapes. Long fucking
I didn't play
thing.
Survivor, so.
You didn't say, I thought you played Jedi Survivor. I thought you played the one Cal Kestis and shit.
Yeah, that's Fallen Order, but then there's a second one with.
Oh shit!
There's 2 games,
and those characters aren't in the first game either, or no?
No.
So I'm thinking that because sooner or later we understand that there's that concept of like they were trying to clone Grogu, create characters with Jedi powers, because eventually the idea is Palpatine's supposed to come back, right? And we understand that between Palpatine's entrance in the last movies and now we have Snoke's character. We've never seen that race of character in the Star Wars universe, but maybe that character was the one that works from this world. Thrawn brings back to be able to clone Siths to be able to be as strong as themselves when they were around.
It's not a different galaxy though. There's no Siths. There's no Empire. There's none of that over here. So all that shit means nothing in this galaxy. So a completely different galaxy. I think that's the most frustrating part, is because there's none of that here. It's very simple. You have a clean slate as to what the fuck is going on over here, and it's you still have no idea. I think this is a very interesting question though. Billy Barnett wrote, I think I know why there's a lot of unanswered questions. They want you to watch more content in the future. They're probably doing a big crossover movie with Mando and Ahsoka and whatever.
True. We've heard this.
They're probably doing that, but you need something leading into that, is my point. Like, that's kind of the foregone conclusion, that all of this is going to lead into a mashup Avengers type of movie with Mando, Ahsoka, Sabine, everybody, Ezra, everybody that's going to be involved.
Bo-Katan, all those fuckers.
Bo-Katan, everybody. We get that. What I'm saying is, what's leading into that? What are we leading?
What are the stakes?
Yeah, what are the stakes that we're leading into that mashup that it kind of wants us entertained by that? Like, I don't get it.
And this is the big thing. And I remember you saying this a long time ago, where you were like, we already know how it all kind of comes to a conclusion. How do you make us care about all of this stuff when we already know what happens in the end? Right. Which is like that middle ground timing, right?
But we don't know how this all ends. Like, but the time between now and the sequels is a big gap. Like, there's a big gap between now and
I agree.
The sequels. So there's a lot of shit that happens. Like, there's a big void of Star Wars that we don't know happen between now,
like the Rey saga, right? You're talking about between here and the Rey saga, right?
Between now and the Rey saga, we have no idea what the fuck happened. So they could go anywhere. I think David mentioned this earlier. Like, this void of Star Wars that we didn't get an answer to what to happen. We're dealing with it now, and I don't think they're doing the best of jobs. Personally,
it's hard. I can see that. I think they need to invest a little bit more into creating such a different type of turmoil. My biggest thing for Star Wars had always been is I like the fact when they introduced that there's like a climb culture, a society where there's like rich elitists that have been playing both sides of the field and keeping both parts of the armies with equipment and stuff. Yeah. And I think they should have played more into that to kind of bring back to the prequels, where you had like this almost like elitist political nature in the story. Like we've already seen all the fucking lightsaber battles and in space battles. Like now we kind of got to build around it, because you know, in the last sequel movies they had that weird like the casino world that they introduced out of nowhere, where they took Finn and the other girl and they brought them into like the casino stuff, and they found what's that one guy's name? Benicio del Toro as the guy that's like screwed everybody over and all that stuff. You remember that part, right?
Yeah.
That was interesting. I had, when I saw that, I was kind of like, oh fuck, like I'd never seen this part of the world. I know that they have like Coruscant and all these rich planets, but they never really they never go into that shit. And I thought that was a cool take, and they never touch base on it. Maybe we'll get something like that sooner or later, and I really, really hope so. Like Andor kind of played into that a little bit by bringing in like the higher elitists of the world or whatever. But I don't know, man. Like this story, like I feel like it dropped the ball like right at the end, and I really hope the season finale really brings something interesting. What would both of you guys, David? I want to ask you first, because I haven't really got you to speak much on this story yet. What would you need to see to make this a pretty positive outcome for the last episode?
I don't know, bro. For me, like I've always been a big Mando fan and Boba Fett. If you can find a way to leave it open, yeah, bro, you gotta lead them into the story, because Mando's the hottest thing. Boba
They're in a fucking different galaxy. I would love to see fucking Mando and fucking Boba Fett, but they're in a different galaxy. How?
Yeah, they had to do the hyperspace thing, man. I wouldn't know how they bring them in,
and that took days. Did you guys realize that took days?
Yeah, no.
Ahsoka was out from the Balin fight. She was out for like a day and a half.
Yeah,
that's how far back she was. That's why it took so long for her to get over there.
Yeah, like it's wild, dude. It's really wild. I mean, I could see that though. Like, it would be cool if like you know what? As a matter of fact, I was thinking like when he returns, because we know Thrawn's gonna return. He's gonna get on that hyperspace shit. No one's gonna stop him. Like none of them turtles are gonna be able to pull that bitch back. And then we're going to get Thrawn's ship. We're going to get him. I wouldn't even be surprised if at the very end, like Thrawn's ship is the one that's the first ship in the sequel movies that Rey's been fucking tearing apart. Like, you know what I mean? Like the big Star Destroyer that's in that sand planet.
Yeah.
Like if that's the one that they've been tearing apart. What's it? I think it's called the Chimera. His ship's called the Chimera. It's like the biggest Star Destroyer. So like that would be cool if they gave format, or like the Star Destroyer that's in the planet where they find the knife and shit in the sequels, and they're looking at that one part where Emperor Palpatine's in when he's in that big water world or whatever. Like if they were to make that's a Chimera, I would be like, fuck, that's cool. Like, you know, they're giving some type of like connection to it. But what I'm saying is like, what do you? I understand you like Mando and Boba, and I don't want to take that from you. But how would you, what do you need to see happen at the end of this? Like, do you want to see Thrawn leave and Ahsoka and all of them get left behind and they don't have a way and they stay on that place? Or do you want it to be like all of them, like as soon as Thrawn leaves, the whales show up and Ahsoka leave with him, or they find the whales to be able to take them back, and then it's like a straight up chase? Like a straight up chase, because I really don't know how this I don't know.
Bro, they better not chase with fucking whales, bro. That's all I'm gonna fucking say. Like straight up, bro. They better not chase with fucking whales.
But that's a whole fucking thing too. I didn't even think of that. I wasn't even thinking of that. Like, I mean, what do you do? Like, Thrawn leaves. The other one was the introduction of C-3PO and the whole like Parliament, them dealing with like the judging and all this shit of Hela. Like, do you now all go back to that region and research, and now Thrawn shows up and all of them are all set to fucking do battle, and it just starts there? Like, hey, what's up, Georgie? Good to see you, my man. Or like the Chimera just shows up and no one's there to do anything, and he just floats off and finds a planet to fuck off in. You know what I mean? Like, what do you do? Like, what do you fucking do? I don't know. Now you got I would need Brian. Brian would be the one to explain that shit to me.
Yeah, they better not chase the fucking whales, bro.
I don't know. Brian had to go do something. But yeah, man, straight up, like, I don't know how I could see an ending to this show and it making sense. Like the only thing that I would see that would make sense is the ship takes off. They leave the three heroes behind, even though Ezra in the last episode was like, "I guess I'm going home."
You're still talking about this shit.
I had a weird question.
Wrap it the fuck up, bro. Let's go.
I didn't even fucking realize this, Brian. But like, let's say Thrawn takes off.
I don't care.
But let's say Thrawn takes off. Do you continue the show in a chase to chase the Chimera into the galaxy and start the war already? Or like, does he just show up and no one gives a fuck and he fucks off onto a base and goes in, whole new fuckery, even though at the beginning of this, like the trial and Leia and all that shit was like, oh no, I allowed it. Do they go back to that area and fucking find out how they can go help? Or like, what do they do? Like, what do you fucking do with this show past this?
I don't know, man. Like,
because the question was, okay, Brian, what do you want? What would be a good ending to this series right now based on the next episode? Straight up. Like, what do you say? Like, okay, to save face, this is what they need to do.
I don't know. There's so many open-ended questions. There's so many things that I have questions to. I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fuck, dude.
I literally just spent an hour talking about how I don't know what the fuck this last episode is going to look like, bro.
I really want to like this, though. I really want to like this show. I really, really want to like this show. But it's hard as fuck. I don't know what to look forward to when it comes to the season finale. Guys, in the comment section, everybody that's here, I want to say thank you guys for tuning in and being a part of the show. What do you think would be a great season finale for Ahsoka Tano? If you guys are watching and listening, put it in the comment section. Let us know what you guys think. I would like to read them before the show comes out. Speaking one extra little comment section. I'm a big fan of My Hero Academia. So guys, don't forget, Present Mike, Dave Chirosco is going to be at the Collectors. David,
yes,
where you guys have him?
We have him on it'll be at 3937 South McCall Road, Edinburgh, Texas, on December 6th.
Yeah, we're
from about 11:30 to 2:30. No hand jobs in the back. Sorry.
I'm not coming then. Fuck it. If you want to like exclude me from the show, then fuck it. All right.
Now we got to make a flyer with no hand jobs allowed.
Say no more.
Man, fucking funny. The reason why I even said that because the manga of My Hero Academia is coming to an end, and my favorite character is about to get killed off, and I don't even know if I'm mentally prepared to read that. So it's so cool to have this person coming down. So if you guys get a chance in December, don't forget to come check it out. I believe they're doing a show tomorrow. UCX has a show coming out. So guys, if you guys go check it out, it's going to be in Edinburgh. Guys, go check it out. We're not going to be there this time, but next time for sure. Guys, I want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in. We appreciate every one of you, to all our extraordinary listeners. We appreciate every one of you for tuning in. Everybody from Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. If you have any questions or anything you want to ask us during the week, don't feel afraid to send us a comment and ask us questions based on your favorite nerd stuff or want our opinions on it. Other than that, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to check us out on all your applications that have podcasts. And don't forget to share and tell your friends about us, guys. I appreciate every one of you. And Brian, David, thank you again for jumping in with us. We appreciate you, brother. And Brian, stay safe over there in the Jersey area, man. We love you, dude. And we hope everything's going good. Things aren't going crazy. So, yeah, guys, I want to say thank you, and we'll see you guys again here next Friday here on the Average Boys podcast. Appreciate you. Peace.